Sending shots with this chop, that's a dick pic. I can't mix with your block, I'm a misfit. Slide on my feet for a mission. Finna light your street up like it's Christmas. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. My nigga never leave a mission unfinished. Record still spotless, little nigga unblemished. You can feel the tension change every time they mention me. That's on game, run his name, it's for squeaky clinky history. Put him out his brains and his misery. Seriously, here he switching teams, wipe his memory. Instantly, on replay, I see it vividly. In the streets, they bumping your guns, now you looking weak. Got in his face for the fade and he couldn't speak, cooking he. Heard his own mama couldn't look at him. Left him on his knees, facing east like a Muslim. Destroy a nigga temple, break it down like Jerusalem. I'm finna have the streets on key and a padlock. And I got a lawyer like Madlock. I can never fold, I'm no laptop. You ain't never in the game, you a mascot. Sending shots with this chop, that's a dick pic. I can't mix with your block, I'm a misfit. Slide on my feet for a mission. Finna light up your street like it's Christmas. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. I swear to God, they ain't never seen this much sauce. Finna cut a rug like a bus off. Pray to God that my jam don't get cut off. I'ma do the dance in the trance, let me get off. I'm at the center of two ladies playing pickle. You can call me Malcolm, I'm the man in the middle. Catch me on stage pulling strings like a fiddle. Chevy chasing cheese like my name's Stuart Little. She like a rough, I push her brains in the pillow. Ask her if she rollin' and she hand me the Rillo. So I'm twisting up this raspberry drizzle. And every single puff like a bag full of Skittles. And you gon' think they pulling chairs when I hit the flow. Right behind her pulling hair while she hit the dro. I got that 40 on my hip while she getting low. And I think she getting wet when she feel the pole. Sending shots with this chop, that's a dick pic. I can't mix with your block, I'm a misfit. Slide on my feet for a mission. Finna light your street up like it's Christmas. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. In a Shark Tank, talking big shit. Even out my pond, I'm a big fish. Just know that everything behind me soon to pass away. Ballin' on our own island, no castaway. I was trying to learn the craft, I can't masquerade. Every time we make magic, yeah, gotta have the cake. They say the flowers in May spring from the showers in April. Burning sage by the pound, all of our crystals is labeled. Try to line your re with meditation you able, and you might get a read. Tarot cards on the table, and she better have an altar in her living room. Rarely ever lighting candles cause she in the mood. Not to mention love spells she was sending through. Tip a tissing too old soon if you feeling blue. It feels strange to find a guide on a voyage. No, you ain't the same, I can feel it in your aura. Came on point like the horns of a Taurus. Say you won't change, better take that thing to oil. Have to think the constellations for the day they made you. Shit, ever since a minor, I've been playing major. Call me Private Ryan, I was trying to save you. See the stars is all the line and they designing greatness. So I be racing when we only chasing soul ties. You finna be the centerpiece of my soul tribe. No twin flame soulmates from an old life. So I'm thinking Maurice and you know why.
That girl blind, that girl blind. You don't wanna feel a black girl, right? You don't wanna make a black girl mine, but they always want with the black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I say how it happened, this black girl. Magic. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I say how it happened, this black girl. Magic. And she gotta have a altar in the living room. Really living like candles cause she ate a fool. Not to mention love spell she was sending through. Tip tissing to her soon if you feeling blue.
They say the flowers in May spring from the showers in April. Burning sage by the pound, all of her crystals is labeled.
how it happens. It's Black Girl Magic.
Power to the dark side, power to the dark side. Definitely got to give a special praise to the most beautiful goddess of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, Stemia, whose image is the most beautiful Whoopi Goldberg. Definitely appreciate everybody in the building. Shout out to all of the Babel builders. Definitely, if you are listening to this, together we are Babel. Let's build. Shout out to Black Sun in the building. Shout out to Planet Free Spirit. Power to the dark side. Shout out to Juju. Appreciate you in the building. What's good with you, frontline and no? Shout out to you, God. Solving a race problem in the building. What's good with you, Strap? What's good with you, Strap? Yeah, definitely. There's been a lot of discussion going on around about Chris and a recent debate that he had and whatever happened in it. I just wanted to actually kind of talk about the title in itself, right? The title in itself. And I think one of the special things about the dark side is that over time we have developed a nuance to the argument against the Bible and against Christianity and the Abrahamic religions in general, right? And I think one of the ways that you got to start out is like you have to be very specific and very detailed, right? You have to be. You cannot start the conversation off with Christianity is the white man's anything, or the Bible is the white man's this. You can't do it. You just can't. You have to be more strategic. When we talking about the Bible and its inception, it is Greco-Roman. It's Greco-Roman. If we're talking about Christianity, it's Greco-Roman. If you want to talk about the culture of the Bible, it's Eurasian. It's Eurasian. In 2022, we cannot make the argument that it is the white man's anything. You're not going to be able to go back and show white people. That's going to be your first problem. That's going to be your first problem. And then another problem that I see creep up is that the new age black Christians and Hebrews and different things like that, they have this little trick up their sleeve where they think they can run to Ethiopia and claim that Ethiopian Bible makes it African because it's the oldest complete Bible that we have. Therefore, it is not the white man's book. It is African. No. And see, this is where it being Greco-Roman is very important. Very important. Because even when you go to the source of the Ethiopian Bible, guess where it ends up at? It's Greco-Roman. And you can easily prove that. You can easily prove that. But you have to be able to. Because I'm telling you right now, if you are in this type of discussion with anybody, they're going to run to the Ethiopian Bible. That's the first place they're going to go. Well, what about the Christianity in Ethiopia? Nigga. You got to cut that off from the like you got to cut it off. You go straight to Saint Prometheus coming into Ethiopia, converting King Gazana. Where did Saint Prometheus come from? Anatolia, Turkey, which was under Greco-Roman rule. See, these were missionaries. Shout out to Hood Therapy in the building. Power to the dark side, Astro. These These were missionaries that come in. These are some of the see when we talk about Ethiopia, these are where some of the first missionaries come in to play at, entering into Ethiopia. Not even just Saint Prometheus, but after him you get the Garima, or yeah, the Garima fathers, right? Abba Garima in it. We've went over this over here before, right? I showed you guys the PowerPoint, different things like that. Me and Orthodox Moore had a discussion on this. Um, excuse me. I'm actually going. I'm gonna reach out to Orthodox Moore and actually see if maybe we could have this discussion again, maybe debate it again, or something like that. Get something lined up. Um, just in general, I think you have to get the or like where these people came from. So Saint Prometheus is a Syro-Phoenician Greek. That's who converts Ethiopia into Christianity. Saint Prometheus. Now, the Garima fathers, right? It was 9 of them. All of them pretty much come from Anatolia. All of them. Those are the people who wrote the Ethiopian Bible. They're the people who wrote it. Abba Garima is said to have sat down and wrote it in one day. One day. They say that God held the sun for in the sky for so long in order for this man to be able to write down this Bible. This person was a Greek that came into Ethiopia and wrote the Bible. They give him full credit. His picture is in the book. Shout out to Karate Introvert. Definitely appreciate you in the building. Power to the dark side, fam. So when I see the title, I think that that title in itself smells some it spells some trouble for some trouble, right? Is Christianity the white man's religion? No. No. Yeah, man, I got to man, work has been crazy. I got to get my body into, you know, I'm gonna have to start just going live a little bit earlier, man. For real, for real. Probably like 5 or something like that. At least on some of the days I get off. That way I can, it's been crazy though. But yeah, man, I'm pretty much there for like, you know what I mean, at like 10 if I'm lucky. For the most part, it's gonna be 12. But yeah, um, when we're talking about this this being the white man's religion, you have to understand that when we because Greece and Rome, it gets murky, right? Even that time period in general, because you can basically say that there are some Romans that kind of look like us and some Greeks that kind of look like us. So it's murky to just say all out white people, right? But when we talk about the culture, right, that's where the separation comes. It's a Greco-Roman type of people, right? And it's almost like when we kind of talk about American, that's where the separation comes, right? Because yeah, there are Chinese Americans and all kind of different Americans, but at the end of the day, they kind of hold to like the more American ideology and more American values than they do their Chinese or Indian and different stuff like that, right? Especially after they're a few generations in. It's like you they begin to change how you perceive the standard in the system, right? In general. So you can almost assume it's the same thing when you're talking about the Greco-Roman period, right? Um, you have to be able to, and like I said, this isn't a hard task at all. This isn't a hard task at all. Oh shoot, hold up, I'm gonna have to send him the link. Um, this isn't a hard task at all when we talking about hold on. Hold on, y'all. Let me write this real quick. All right, this took me all the way out. All right, really? My shit moving so slow right now. So in general, right? Like and like I said, when I kind of looked and I'm listening, I had a major issue with the title in itself, right? That was my start. Like, damn, the title is an uphill climb for anybody who wants to be tricky. You know what I'm saying? And people going heads up, you probably won't have that issue. The problem I think today, people aren't going heads up. They're looking for any little thing inside of a title to be able to pull out a victory, right? Because remember, at the end of the day, shout out to Miss Royal, appreciate you in the building. People are only looking for a possibility. A lot of the times when you in these discussions, right? They only need a possibility, right? It doesn't really matter if for a fact that Jonah was in the belly of a whale or megalodon. It just needs to be possible that Jonah could have been in the belly of a whale or a megalodon or whatever the fuck he got swallowed by. They just need to know that it's a possibility. That's all. So when you having these discussions, you have to come from the angle of no possibility at all. None. That's the angle you have to come from. You can't play no game. You can't play no games. You can't let them play the possibility. Is there a possibility that there were black people that were also Roman? No, nigga. They were Roman. That's why you don't play that game. Shout out to Waziggy. You don't play that game. You keep it very plain and very simple. No, these people were Greco-Roman. You don't play the white and black game when you're having these discussions. When you're talking about the invaders of Africa, you don't talk about white and black. These people are Eurasian. They come up with, are they white or black? They're Eurasian. That's what the fuck they are. We're not playing that game. No. We're not gonna be guessing. Well, were some of them black? No, we're not doing that. Because then they'll show you some some people that you might deem as today being black. No, man, these people aren't black either. Like, nah, we're not doing that. These people are Eurasian. I don't know about nobody being white. I don't know about nobody being black. They're Eurasian. It talk about the people who created the Bible. I don't know about nobody being white. I don't know nobody being black. I know they were Greco-Roman. Greco-Roman. I'm not playing with you. And when they go to that Ethiopian shit, you guess what you're going to be able to do? Take their ass right back to the Greco-Roman Empire. And see, it's a very slick move that they try to do, right? Because what happens is, right, you have Arianism being declared as heresy, right? Being declared as heresy, if I'm not mistaken, during the Council of Nicaea. So while this is being declared heresy, right, Saint Prometheus is over there tutoring, right, or is over there in Ethiopia mentoring, or we can say proselytizing, or basically, you know, being a missionary to King Gazena and the Ethiopian. Now, this they will try to play like the Ethiopian or the Ethiopic form of Christianity is so much different from the Greco-Roman Catholic Church. But no, 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 my friend. No, my friend, no. See, if it was so much different when Constantine outlaws Arianism and they deem it as heresy, right? Why would they then bring in Saint Prometheus to replace him? Because mind you, Saint Prometheus and Ethiopians, according to these people, carried the same doctrine as Arian. And when I'm saying Arianism, please do not mistake this for modern day Arianism. Arianism was basically at the Greco-Roman time period was basically a doctrine on whether God or whether Jesus was God or fully man and all of that type of crap. That's what Arianism was at that time. And so outlawing Arianism and then replacing it with a person who holds the same doctrine as Arianism would make no sense. No sense at all. So we know that there is a constant connection between Ethiopia and the Greco-Roman rule. And we even know, because like I said, when you trace the money, you'll see that the connection was there between the Greco-Roman rule, between the people all the way up in Anatolia. Because remember, Constantinople was in Anatolia. That was the capital. That was the capital, which happens to be the same place that the capital was when the Hittites conquered the Hattis and made Hattusa the capital. Same spot, same spot. Just want y'all to know that. Same spot where the boat landed. But you know, we'll leave that alone. We'll leave that alone. But you have to understand that the people who come in and write the Ethiopian Bible, and it's in their story. It's in their story. It was written by Abba Garima. It's in their story. They tell you that. He said and wrote it in one day. That nigga was Greco-Roman. That nigga was Greco-Roman. And when you open up the Ethiopian book, this Ge'ez, the Ge'ez, whatever you want to call it, there are nothing but Greco-Romans in that damn book. And this is why these slick Asiatics have to play this game of what you used to look like, so they can try to convince you that these characters were once your people. It's a very slick move. You have to be specific with these slick Christians and Hebrews and Abrahamics. You have to. You have to. Because 9 times out of 10, they're not going to allow you to play the white game. They want to play the race game. Were these people white? So all of them were white? Were there any black people? Now, the moment that some Romans were black, this and that, now you got an issue. Shout out to Jay Kyle. Appreciate you in the building, God. Now you have an issue. So you don't play that game. You stay away from that. No, no, no. No, no, no. They were Greco-Roman. I'm telling y'all, get away from the color game. That color game is brand new. It's new. It's new. We clash because of culture. We clash because of ideology. That was our first clash. Get away from the necessary, like the color shit. Get away from the color shit. When you start looking at the culture, you'll start seeing a lot of different things. You'll start seeing the truth behind what happened in Rwanda. There's a culture clash. So at face value, Rwanda looks like black on black crime. But when you actually see who comes from where, who was native to Rwanda and who wasn't, you'll see a culture clash. That's what you'll start to see, a discrepancy in the culture. That's the first thing. So you have to be on your P's and Q's. You have to be thinking ahead of these dudes. You have to know where they're going to go. So anytime you're going to be debating or talking to a black Christian in 2022, 9 times out of 10, they are going to try to go to the Ethiopian. You have to cut that off. Even when you go into the Ge'ez language in general and how it's developed, you'll see that's a communion between those people and the people who came from Anatolia. You will see that easily. I told you, you follow the money. The money already said that even before Rome converted to before Ethiopia converted to Christianity, they had a developed relationship with the Greco-Romans. Remember, the Star and Crescent is before Islam. That's used on the money in Ethiopia before Christianity. Now you have to ask yourself, who was they using that money to trade with? They were using it to trade up to Turkey. Greco-Roman. So it's not a coincidence at all. Shout out to Sunshine. Appreciate you in the building, sis. It's not. You don't go, it's the white man's anything. You don't. Stay away from those arguments. Because then they'll go, well, the culture. You saying that the culture is? No. Shout out to Shalom. Peace to you, God. No. I'm not saying that the culture is the white man shit. No. The culture is Eurasian. Now let's argue from that perspective. If we start from it being Eurasian, or the Bible itself being Greco-Roman, Now let's argue. Because you won't have a source that goes before that. See, even when they go to the Masoretic text, when you go into the story on how it's created, what are they going to say? Think about it. What are they? They can't say anything. Yes, please. Please wait to announce. They ain't gonna know what to say. Because even the story in the Masoretic text says that they copied it into the Hebrew from the Greek. They were supposed to be correct in the Greek. Stop letting these people talk to you like there's a source before this Greek, this Greco-Roman source. There isn't one. It doesn't exist. Uh-oh. Here we go. Sir, I'm dropping the link. Somebody must have gave you the word I mentioned you. Shout out to the Orthodox Moors. Oh, I forgot to unlock the door. Shout out to the Orthodox Moors in the building. This is actually who I first had this discussion with. So shout out to it. Y'all, man, I'm finna drop it right now. We'll definitely have this discussion. Let me get that. Where? Let me see. There we go. Shout out to the Seth Lord in the building. Yeah, definitely. I definitely I played a debate. You got cooked, my friend. I cooked you in that debate. You tried to pull out the Arianism. You tried to say that Arian was different. The Catholic Church was against Arianism, and that the Ethiopian Orthodoxy was for Arianism. Basically, they shared the same doctrine. But where I chopped your head off at is that Constantine had sent for who did he send for? He had sent for Saint Prometheus to come and replace Arian. That's where I chopped your head off at, my friend. So you know, hold on, my fault. Hold on, y'all. Okay, here we go. Here we go. Shout out to the Sith. What's good? What's good?
Peace, Paul. Can you hear me?
Yep, you coming through clear.
Good, good, good. What's up, Blue?
Man, same old.
That's good. I was supposed to be going to court. I heard this topic. But, man, we got to do another show. I agree that we should be focused on the Eurasian part. But I disagree. They've been playing this color game for a while. It kind of surfaced with the Arabs, with the Muslims, when they call it the Balad al-Sudan, the land of the blacks. They really started pushing that at the rise of Islam around 800 AD. But Herodotus, now he didn't make it racist, but he stipulated oh, these people were Ethiops, and these people were Ethiops. It was the Eurasians that started saying, oh, this is where the burnt or the dark people lands are. They began to separate themselves by skin color, adding that on with culture. So to me, it goes back much further, the history of it. And then when you add on the culture part, like you said, man, Anatolia, this is where the Greeks get their start. They're basically all those people from Anatolia and all of that. Then they come down into lands where the burnt faces or the Ethiop peoples are, and they begin to force their culture, their Eurasian culture, on those lands. So it kind of start back a little bit further.
Right, right. That's what I was saying too. You can kind of, when you kind of trace the money, you can see that they had a connection running up there for, like, you know what I'm saying. And it start. I think it is like 800 BCE is where you start seeing the DNA pop up.
Yeah, yeah, yep.
And then, of course, that's around the same time you get the development of the Ge'ez language, which is, I think, which was a trade language. That's what they was using, what I mean? And the elites was using to separate themselves from the other people of Omo Valley civilization.
Right, right. And right, and this during this time, this is when Taharka and Shabbatku, they try to push back up into the Levant, and
Right.
and they lost it. They lost it to the Assyrians, and that's when you would say the African cultures lost grip of those areas around 600 BC. Then next you have the Persians, and then the Greeks come in, and it's all over around that time.
Facts. And that's the problem. What people don't see is those Ethiopians side with the Greeks and the Romans.
Yeah.
And you can tell because they all have like this agreement where the world is like, yeah, Ethiopia was the only African country never conquered. They were just so happy to say that shit. And it bothered me. I'm like, I got to go see what this is about. And when you go in, you see, because Ethiopia was converted by the missionaries. Ethiopia colonized themselves. The Habesha colonized Ethiopia, right? And then you get Ethiopia colonizing Africa, going in and colonizing Nubia.
Right. And
so they really didn't have to come in.
Right. And if you look at a chessboard, the bishop plays a important role.
Oh yeah.
And that's who Prometheus was.
Yep.
It's
the bishop.
Yeah. Bishops are strong. It's Christianity is not just a religion, it's a political tool. And it has been a political tool for a long time. And that's where we get it wrong. There now, the spirituality, everybody bring their own spirituality in it, but the original intent was political.
Facts.
That's why the Catholic Church was so powerful.
And you can see the politics kind of play out, and that's why which is something that Lex always touches on. Like, it's the story behind it, and the God, it's political.
Yeah, it's political.
Hold on, man. Now more. What we doing more? Do you see what he just put? Hold on.
I didn't see it.
Yeah. Hold up. Here it is, right here. Blue Nubia is where you get whitewashed Christianity in Africa. It's crazy how Greek they want it to be. Hella colonized mind. Sir, King Gazana went in and conquered Nubia and converted Nubia to Christianity. So if that's where you're getting whitewashed Christianity, it's because of the Ethiopian. It's because of the Habasha. No, that's clear. They came in, and what's worse is they did it at a time where Nubia was working their way back up to the Levant. They was getting ready to go back up into the Levant again. They was working their way up, taking over Upper Egypt. They was going and taking back Lower Egypt from the Romans, and they were winning. And then here comes the King Gazana from behind and conquers the capital. That's where you find the stele. That's where you find the stele, is in the capital of Nubia. So yeah, man. The Nubians were colonized. That was the issue. Shout out to Ayana Awad. They were colonized. So the Habasha, and I gotta be specific because it's unfair when we say Ethiopia, because for some reason the Habasha get like they are like now the face of Ethiopia, even though you have a whole Omo Valley civilization. You know, they have just taken over that. So when I say that the Ethiopians conquered Nubia, I specifically mean the Habasha. Specifically. No, Nubia took on a different Christianity. Oh man, stop. Stop. Stop, man. And this is where I got you at in the debate. The Ethiopians venerated Mary, bro. They venerated Jesus. And they venerated the Father. They believed that there was three. Now, when you go into the nuances of how they believe these three operated and if they got Jesus fully got all of that, hey, it's some discrepancies. But even when you talk about today, the Ethiopian church today has went back. They're the close, like out of all most of the orthodoxies, the Ethiopic orthodoxy is the closest to the Greco-Roman orthodoxy or regular Catholicism than any of the other ones. They have Constantine's cross. You're right, Juju, and that's why. You know what, Juju? That's why cooking him was like one of my favorite cooks of all time.
Right, but we could walk and chew bubble gum at the same time.
Facts. Facts.
Right, Strap. And Christianity is Hellenization. That's all it is. The Hellenized Jew was helping the Romans Hellenize the Levant. And that's what Christianity is. I mean, it's a great system. It gave them a lot of great power, but we have to be honest, that's what it is.
Facts. That's a fact.
Christianity is just simply Greco-Roman Hellenization of East Africa and the Levant. It's a political tool.
If you at your I'm on my phone right now. If you at your computer though, more you can definitely come on. We can discuss the We can both break down the video, break down that debate. You know, I don't mind showing where you got cooked at and all of that. That's one, like I said, that's probably my best debate ever. Stop, bro. uh, that was one of my best cook sessions. That's right there. That was like the rise of me being the rapid fire king. It was that rapid fire with me and more. He made it difficult too. He definitely made it difficult. That nigga said the book of Revelations was the tour. Straight up. Yeah, man. Oh wow, look at this hater. Shout out to you, Unbreak My Heart. Yep. I mean, people waste their lives believing in it. so I think it's only fair for us to take a few hours out of the day to deal with what people are wasting their lives believing in. I mean, let's just be honest. Like we got shit to do. We got shit to do. Yeah, I'm a download it though. I'll download it and just upload it on here and just run the debate. Yeah, I definitely do that. Get it up on here because that's a fire ass debate, man. That's one of the better debates that ever happened. I don't think a lot of people slept on that one. But yeah, I don't think though you can get away though from in general. Once you mention Christianity, um you're talking about Hellenization in itself, right? So to say there's a whitewashed form of Christianity, um, nah, nah, nah. It can't be Greco-Roman washed. I'm gonna say that if it was Greco-Roman to start with. So, and I think what I was able to break down was that this Masoretic text that claims to, like, all of the sources that claim to go back to this ancient Hebrew, we can't find that. We can't find that source, but what we can find is a connection between them and the Septuagint. That's a problem. That's a problem. Yeah. Yeah, well, I think we gotta be yeah, that's the truth. The winners always get the history. And the people who lost, a lot of the times they end up soaking up that history and believing it. But I think though in general, like I said, um, even when I had the title with Moore, I made sure that it was Greco-Roman and not white. And it was a reason for that.
Yeah, right. Using white and black is too vague.
Way too vague.
Yeah, they can be slippery.
And then he can go to Tertullian and well, look at Tertullian. He wasn't white, was he?
Right. Wasn't Jerome from
yeah, Jerome also. Yeah. Yeah. So it's like, nah, I'm not finna play with y'all, man. No. I know exactly where to start. So Akhenaten is Moses. Horus is Jesus. Set is Yah and Allah. Yeah, you can definitely see it. I think one of the things that was exposed by what's his name? Asar M. Kai had exposed what he was able to show was that When he was just going through the book of Psalms, that majority of that stuff was like taken word for word out of the Egyptian, like out of Egyptian spell book. You can see it. And when you look at it as a whole, you can see, shout out to Born was good. You can see that like you can kind of see like how the stories in themselves are like taken from like so many different cultures. So they like a compilation of a lot of different like different civilizations
Right,
and different
right.
ideas and shit.
That's why we know it can only be when they was in Alexandria.
Facts. Facts.
They had to be somewhere where a great deal of knowledge was going around.
Oh yeah, it was definitely Alexandria, and you can see it. Which I don't think Manetho was real, but you can see like how his story goes. Like somehow those people are initiating the Ptolemy, and that begins to be the like that starts to spell trouble for us, you know, all the way up into this day.
Yeah, yeah.
All good, all good. Power to the dark side, Miss Woody. All good. I'm finna go check it. Yeah, y'all make sure y'all go and go subscribe to the Orthodox More. He definitely has that video posted. I'm gonna post it over here too. But you know, if you impatient, make sure you go and check that out. Make sure you go and check that out. Uh, Shout out to West Side Rider was good. I don't know if this person, these people are trolling Octavius Prime or what. Yeah, bro. Yeah, Napah has been using the dark side teachings for a while now. And playing the fence with it though. That's the thing I was talking to Ratazan about, man. You can't play the fence with these teachings, bro. With the like you can't talk dark side rhetoric and then be trying to stand on Yahweh at the same time. It just don't work like that. Like it's in like and which we already told them most of this stuff was Gnostic teaching. These were the Gnostic teachings. So it's like the God of the New Testament is in direct opposition to the God of the Old Testament according to the Gnostic. You can't take the Gnostic teachings and argument and then try to still, say Yahweh is okay. No, nigga. He either is or he ain't. He either is or he ain't. He ain't no both though. Jesus can't be the serpent, but Yahweh was also still good. No, nigga. If Jesus is the serpent, that means Yahweh was the devil. You niggas is tripping. Stop trying to play that fence. I don't know what's wrong with the world, man. So yeah. But I think so I'm interested though in seeing what direction Pastor Bennett went in. I'm almost sure Pastor Bennett went the Ethiopian route. All right. I'm gonna do that up more. I'm gonna do that. I'm almost positive he went the Ethiopian route. Um, like I said, that was a route that and it was interesting to me to hear Jabari talking, um, mess about what he could have did with Pastor Bennett and all of that. But when he was in there with Dr. Bantu, he allowed that nigga to say black people used to be called the Habasha. I'm like, whoa.
Yeah. He let that dude carve him up, so he need to be quiet.
Yeah, I'm like, oh, whoa, bro. You gotta You couldn't even deal with that Ethiopian shit, bro, at all. That was a horrible job. You let that man get away with a lot of shit. Like, nah, bro. You
But the thing
supposed to
is,
chop it up.
right? They're handing them debates though with these titles.
Mm-hmm. Yep. Yep. Every time. And you don't know what direction you put the white man's anything. You don't know what direction the dude gonna come. You'll be in there debating color and shit the whole night.
Yeah.
Man, leave that shit alone. And that's why I say, we've part of the reason why I always say that, our Hebrews developed that we argue with a lot, and they arguments or have a lot of nuances than when you go against other Hebrews. But I got to also say that we developed a lot too in debating them on understanding how we need to, what kind of questions we need to raise, and which ones we need to stay away from. And I think now it's like the you got to know how to have the discussion to where you're not in an uphill climb. You got to get them proving shit. And a lot of times, and this is something that Chris always says, a lot of times you end up in these titles with them where they don't have to prove shit. We got to stop doing that.
Right. You said it. You said it early. All they have to do is come in and give you a possibility, and that'd be enough for them.
Yeah.
If it was possible, then it happened.
That's it. That's it. They don't care about nothing else. Could a megalodon have swallowed a man? Yeah, probably. Okay, then. Like, whoa. So that equals, we equaling that out to Jonah, nigga? Like, like, hold on, man. What are we saying? And then remember that nigga Yara did all of that shit that day, and then gonna say, I never said that megalodon swallowed Jonah. I'm like, well, nigga, what the fuck was the point of you bringing up megalodon in, nigga, when that was the question? Like, the question at hand was, what could have swallowed Jonah? You came in and said megalodon could have. Yeah, it's been a minute since I cooked Yara. I'm gonna have to cook him again too. In the Shark Tank, talking big shit. Oh, wait. So there's another group on YouTube calling themselves Dark Side. Some guy called Jimmy's TV with the ghetto blaster on his avatar. Reckless. I'm gonna have to see.
There's probably a lot of people saying Dark Side though.
Yeah, today is grown, man.
Yeah,
It's grown. They got whole shows on ESPN now based on. Yeah, I was looking at that. Shit, John Morant repping Dark Side now. I told y'all we was in the millions. I've been telling y'all we've been in the millions for years now. Now we on our way to $1 billion.
All right, Blue, I gotta run. Yeah, you should run this show back.
Definitely. I definitely will, man. I definitely will. I'll pick it back up.
Yep. All right, peace.
All right, God, peace. Appreciate you. Yeah, shout out to the Sif. Came through, dropped some of the knowledge, I said I just wanted to touch on a few things. I heard them up, and it's funny to me because I said this recently, no matter what, to me when I see the cats that's over in other places debating, they still are going to be looked at as VDL debaters. And what I found was very funny was how they tried to use that moment as a time to pop shot SVDL debaters. What happened with Chris? I found that very funny. I'm like, oh, so every moment is about trying to take that little shot at us on that level. And it's funny to me that, when y'all Rock Chris went over there, they went over there wrecking shop. Uh, they went over there wrecking shop. They not only were the most entertaining debaters, but they were the best ones over there for the last few months since they stepped foot on the platform. Since they stepped foot on the platform, they haven't been able to be dealt with. So, that shit be sounding good, and all of that, but oh yeah. Oh yeah. Yeah, I didn't have I think me and Chaz debated that. Um and this is answering Sunshine's question. Yeah, I think me and Taz had a few debates around that. Um I think some of the debates we was getting ready to, have, unfortunately, was also going to be kind of tied into that. I have to find some other people maybe to be able to kind of get those type of discussions going with, and that was the thing too. um, Me and Taz probably had some really, really, really solid ass debates. To be real, we gonna have to get something ran back. Some of that stuff gonna have to be ran back again, that we did do. Um, Also, I think the non-participation debates that I've had, I think also like, and see, like, and this is the thing too, Sunshine. Whenever I'm like debating capitalism and stuff like that, the point of that is so that we get all of the other bullshit out of the way, so that we know where, okay, this is where we have to start at, right? This is actually the beginning of the fight, because shout out to that. Shout out to you. So the true religion of East Africa and Ethiopia is the Wakana, Wakan Fana. Definitely appreciate that. Shout out to Michael in the building. Appreciate you, God. Yeah, we done had some in private, um, but also just in basically in debates. Uh, I thought me and Domo was gonna actually was if we could have made it, to the championship, that was probably gonna be one of the most fire debates. Probably would have been um like I probably based around like non-participation and the way that we view ourselves, like as far as the fight. But like I said, a lot of the times when we have in a discussion on fighting, I think we don't know really what fighting looks like and where it starts from. And so a lot of the times we think that um, we, we think that doing things opposite of the system is more so giving up. I don't think we really look at it as actually, you know, that's where you actually like part of the loss or part of where we taking our L at is that they have us under the ideology that we have to that that fighting comes through a certain avenue by voting and by even by burning shit down, which in a way I think that is a part of it, but it kind of depends, right? Being, I think the real fight is being more self-reliant. And when I say self-reliant, I mean as a whole. I mean, and that's as a whole. So that comes um, with us being able to, have a plan on how we gonna shelter ourselves, Are we gonna feed ourselves? That doesn't involve necessarily having a currency. We don't control the currencies that are out there. We have no control over them. We see it now, right? We have no say so in inflation. When inflation happens, there's nothing you can do about it but take the L. I think in general, uh, we've gotta use things that we can actually control in order to fight. We don't control weaponry, how weaponry is created. We don't control the market in general. And so thinking that you can fight through something that at any point can be just taken out from under your feet, that's the wrong direction. Right. I think the discussion about revolution doesn't happen from an actual solid foundation. And see, this is a great point. It took blood and dirt to get and keep us here. Then it will take blood and dirt to get us back out of it. That's a fact. Shout out, shout out to Green 101. Exactly. Green on point, man. He came right in on point. You have to our mentality, our ideology has to become the opposite of what it is today, of what the standard is. And the reason why is because the standard is being held up basically off of us and the cultures that we come from and the practices that we had. When they use words primitive, shout out to Solomon in the building, was good, was good. They use these words like primitive. And the whole point of them even saying words like primitive is to almost deem it as a lesser than the standard today. And it just also it kind of puts something in your mind on how you value something that's primitive, right? You value things that are primitive a little bit differently than you do things that are more modern or up to date or more of the standard. And so I think what has happened is that this they've created this ideology of what the standard of life looks like. We believe in that ideology. And really it's not even just a belief. I think Domo uses the word coerced, right? And the coercion comes in at is the fact that you're born into the system, right? It ain't like you wake up and say, hey, I want to depend on Walmart for food. You know what I mean? Why I rather do that than learn how to hunt. No, you're born into depending on Walmart for food. You're born into depending on the state or the city, the same ones that you would riot against, that you would protest against. Shout out to Domo was good. Got the political plug in the building. The same ones that you riot against and protest against and all of that. These would be the same people in control of the water, in control of your water system. our reliance on that water, it makes it hard to fight. Exactly. Exactly. And so that's why when we start talking about fighting the people, like we start people start wanting to know, well, where are we going to get food from? If we go against this system, how are we going to feed each other? Got you right now. How are we going to shelter each other? And I think at some point, I don't think that we just make the leap without having an idea, but I think that the fight begins where we start trying to develop that. Like, okay, because even now, if shit hits the fan, even now, if shit hits the fan, there is there's nothing you can do. You live in a food desert, and your city has enough supply of food for 3 days. 3 days. And you talking about after a day and a half or the third day, it ain't gonna be shit on the shelves for you besides maybe cereal and a bunch of other shit that you ain't gonna be able to live off of. And even after that, guess what? That only lasts for so long. So we talk about, and it's funny because we talk all of this man shit. Man, man, men. Men know how to get their own fucking food. It's a little bit bigger than just having a check cash. That's the easy route. Just making sure money flows isn't guaranteeing that your kids is gonna eat. It isn't. It only guarantees as long as this system is running. But we ain't really in a thought process of, yo, tomorrow my money may not spend at Walmart. Will my kids be able to eat? Will they have access to water? How will we shelter ourselves? No idea. We think preparing for the storm is just having a few candles. That's what we believe. We prepare for the storm by just having a few candles. Because at the end of the day, we always expect for the lights to come back on. That's not the correct mentality. We should be set up and expecting for them to never come back on. I think we should be praying for these motherfuckers to get shut off and never come back on. But at the minimum, we need to at least be in preparation for it. We can't be talking about our ship is coming and change is coming and all of these different things is going to come into play, but we yet have no way outside of Walmart to feed ourselves. See, and this is why I always say, and when you live in this system, it's so easy to say where your blessings are coming from. Shout out to Tequila. Peace, peace. Appreciate you in the building. It's always easy to say where your blessings are coming from. Because at the end of the day, what runs the system is this. We got the political plug in the building. What's good, God?
What's good with it, bro? good, good to see you up cracking, getting it in. You know what I'm saying?
Definitely. Yeah, man. Chris, I don't know if you had seen, man. Chris had a debate recently.
Yeah.
And did you hear the post debate discussion?
I did.
Now,
I mean,
how we get brought up in that?
Bro, nigga, I was on Judah channel saying the same shit, bro. But the fucked up thing about it is, like, I think this is a lesson for all of us to kind of like, you know what I'm saying, kind of internalize. Now, first thing I want to say is I'm cool with Chris, and I mean I wouldn't say I don't really got nothing to say about like what he felt like what he decided to do. That's what he decided to do. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
If he wasn't feeling it, he left. You know what I mean? Now, it's always repercussions with shit like that. You know what I mean? I ain't about calling a nigga a coward or doing all that extra shit. Cause it's just like shit. The nigga wasn't feeling it. You know what I mean? And he dipped out. But what I felt was what I thought was funny was just how Chris did like what 3 debates over there, winning debates. You know what I'm saying? Like beating niggas. But it wasn't. You know what I mean? It wasn't that. When Chris was shining, this is the house of consciousness. This is Chris is up next, all of that. You feel me? Then literally as soon as niggas get you know what I'm saying, do something that they feel like kind of, you know, hurt the brand in a way, because it is a pay-per-view. That's what I will say. Like, it is a pay-per-view. You feel me? And so it's kind of like that, like people feel like they got gypped out of that shit for a nigga doing some shit like that.
Right.
But it's to see, that's that weak ass Solomon league. That's that SBDL, like that shit. Like, bro, if y'all wasn't saying SBDL is producing great talent when that nigga was over there beating niggas, ain't nobody trying to hear no. But that's, I mean, Zion Lex ain't no, you know what I'm saying? That's ain't no slouch to them niggas. You know what I'm saying? Like Zion Lex ain't no slouch.
Right.
They bring all these niggas over here to fuck with the niggas. When the nigga was beating these niggas, SBDL didn't get no props. Yep. But actually, what I will say is that Chris said SBDL helped prepare him for this. You know what I'm saying? But then as soon as niggas is like, all right, he do this shit, then it's, well, see, that's how they get down to SBDL. And it's like, bro, y'all some suck-ass niggas for that shit. You know what I mean? Like, it ain't no reason why y'all bringing us up in some shit that happened with somebody that y'all done already took under their wing. Chris quit SBDL. So when you talking about, you know, like that's what niggas do, no, that's what Chris did over here. He wasn't fucking with us no more, numerous times. And this ain't no slight to Chris. And I hope, please, bro, don't take this as no disrespect. Because again, I'm trying to stay away from niggas, you know what I'm saying, the YouTube beef. And at the same time, it's enough niggas doing streams on Chris already to where this ain't really about Chris. It's more so like because of his affiliation with us, then it became shit, oh, this, you know, this nigga, that's what they do over at SBDL. That's how they get. But the one thing we don't do is quit. Because we didn't have, I was going to say 4, but we didn't have 3.5 seasons. You know what I'm saying? Like 3 and 2/4 seasons, 2/3 seasons.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So quitting really ain't nothing that we do. Like, I've been over here 3 years. Blue, you've been over here 4 years. Quitting ain't what we do.
Hell nah.
You know what I mean? Matter of fact, the niggas that ride the hardest dealt with the most bullshit and didn't quit. If we being honest. So SBDL ain't about quitting, bro. We persevered. Even when niggas was putting our commissioner, you know what I'm saying, his record and creating narratives around shit that he did in the past and all that shit. We ain't quit, niggas. The fuck is y'all talking about? That ain't got shit to do with us. And this is why I'm like, damn, I wish Chris would have called me or you know what I'm saying, or something, just because they were talking about his power. That presentation, you feel me, is one of the presentations that we critical of over here. We talk about font size over here. We talk about
that pissed me off. Yep.
What is you talking about? We talk about color schemes. We have whole conversations about what color font go on what background. The fuck is y'all talking about? We like niggas is over here. Like no. But the thing is though, and this is the lesson that everybody that fuck with SBDL, this is the lesson niggas need to, you know what I'm saying? Niggas need to recognize. When we sitting up here saying this is our best, it can't just be our best because I like this motherfucker. It can't, and that's the problem that we done ran into. It can't be because, oh, this is the person I agree with, they the best. Because the biggest problem Chris ran into was he had some yes men around him. The niggas that was trying to be like, you know, Chris, this is where you could do better and all this other shit. That shit was drowned out by niggas like Khonsu. Dick riding. Constantly talking about, let me not disrespect Khonsu. I ain't gonna say he's a dick riding. It's an older gentleman. You know? I mean, I ain't gonna do that. But where I do feel, but where I do feel like Khonsu kind of got in the way is that, like, for example, niggas sit around and say our judging system is rigged. Why? Because you had judges that were sitting there advocating for particular debates. You had like the head judges doing streams talking about Chris Harris is the Michael Jordan of debate. How the fuck can we say we got a partial? You know what I'm saying? How are we partial at this point? Like, how are we at a point where, you know what I mean, we talking about, you know, the skill, like the actual, nah, these niggas just like, yep, this is the Michael Jordan. You know what I mean? And so it's like, when you got yes men around you, only thing that's happening is they just telling you, yeah, keep doing what you're doing. You're not trying to get better. You're not trying to get better. And so Chris kind of took some of the stuff and it did work to a degree for some debates. You know what I mean? But when it was like, all right, he did the same thing that he typically does in SBDL, like even when they was talking, I didn't see the debate, but when they was talking about, you know, how like his presentation style and what it looked like a book, and that's how he presented debates over SBDL. The issue though is that we was saying, I mean, I ain't gonna say we, I was like, I mean, Chris put the information together well, but it was ways, you know, he got to do better with his PowerPoint. It could be better than that, right? So when niggas is sitting here like telling a nigga like, yeah, you Michael Jordan, you the best, like nigga, you the great MVP, right? And you not thinking to yourself, I need to get, like, what can I be better at though? You know what I mean? And that's the problem. Bro, listen, I've been debating. Bro, I've been in the activity of debate, bro. Not just studying race or studying religion. No, the activity of debate I've been doing for 15 plus years. Even me at SBDL, nigga, I'm like, every season I'm like, what do I need to do different? Like, what do I need to do better? How do I need to do better? I'm taking the criticism of motherfuckers that I know can't touch me in this shit. But I recognize the landscape. So it's incumbent upon myself, if I want to be better in this landscape, right? If I want to be better in this environment, it's incumbent upon me to be like, okay, I'm good, but how can I be better? If y'all go check up the way I did my slides in season 1 or season 2 is different than how I did my slides in season 3, which is different than how I did my slides in season 4. You feel me? We got it, like niggas are, even though you good, you gotta be thinking, I can be better. I could always be better. You feel me? And I learned that from LeBron. Like, this nigga would go, I'm talking about best nigga in the league, but every time somebody was critical of something he did, the next season he came back and when they lost to Denver, they said Bron can't dominate the post. In the off season, that nigga was in the motherfucking in the gym with Hakeem. You know what I mean? Saying that nigga couldn't shoot. In the off season, he putting him up with Ray Allen. You know what I mean? So it's like, and we know it, like, this the best nigga in the league. And so the issue that Chris ran into was like having them niggas around him just bigging up shit instead of working to get better. But this is also the problem. the yes men that's been associated with the debate league put niggas in certain positions to be the face. Put niggas in certain positions to be the one, like, you know what I'm saying, to be recognized in a particular way, right? Even remember when Scheme came over here, what was Scheme saying? Yeah, you know, Chris the best nigga over here. You know, Anonymous may be the champ, but so the perception was niggas was putting him on that on that pedestal. Now again, that ain't talking shit about Chris, but when Chris do something, now because niggas put him on that pedestal and wasn't pushing him to be better on our shit. Now when niggas look and see what he do, he's like, oh, that's that SVDL shit. That's how they do it at SVDL. That's how they rock at SVDL. Even though that nigga threw away the trophies, you know what I'm saying? Did a whole stream with the judges to lead the league and all of that. And again, that's it. I'm just stating facts. I'm not calling anybody out. Simply stating facts. So when them same people disappear, right? The people that put Chris on the pedestal, when they gone, everybody else gone. Them judges gone. All them is gone. No longer associated with SVDL. But because of the pedestal that they created, when some shit pop off, it's them. That's how they do. You know what I'm saying? That's the shit that annoys me. And I want to be like, no, it ain't. That ain't how we move. But they only got to ask one question. Was Chris considered one of the best niggas over there? Yes. Ask another question. Was Chris a champion? Yes. Another question. Was Chris MVP? Yes. Okay. Another question. Was he judge's choice? Yes. So what the fuck you mean he not a part of SVDL? You know what I mean? It's as simple as that. It's as simple as that. That's why I like the response. And this is like the problem that I have with Suave, for example. That bitch ass nigga talk shit about me, talking about I look down on niggas just because I was saying we could all be better. I'm saying we. I know I'm better than niggas, but I'm saying we can all be better. But let this bitch ass nigga tell it Damo was just looking down on niggas. No, niggas like Suave was just happy to be a part of some shit. They didn't give a fuck if it got better. They didn't give a fuck if it grew. They just wanted to sit in front of motherfuckers and talk. That's why I say it's niggas that took more away from this league that benefited from it to turn around and shit on it. Suave like to act like he was one of them niggas who was giving more. No, nigga, you was doing streams. Y'all niggas was not giving back. When you got, and what I mean by giving back is, what are you doing to help develop the culture? What are you doing to help develop the competition? Are we pushing niggas to be like, no, everybody getting up in every debate saying that was a great debate. No, some niggas need to be told, hey, bro, you got to do better than that. You got to do better than that. You got to be better than that. But because, that's somebody I fuck with. That's somebody I'm cool with. That's, it was a great debate. It was great. Like, and I fuck with Yanker, right? I fuck with Yanker tough. I think that's a real smart dude. Him talking about Scheme is a great debater. Scheme is okay. Scheme need a lot of work. Scheme need a lot of work. A lot of work. A lot of work. And that's not even just, that's not trying to talk shit about him or nothing. I'm a debate coach. Like even tonight, I'm going to kick it with debate people. First black national champion, or first black unified champion in collegiate debate. I'm about to go kick it with that nigga tonight. He's considered he the only nigga to win both national championships and coach a team to win both national championships. That's my partner. We do this for real.
Damn.
And so when I'm telling niggas, my other partner was the first black debater to get top speaker at the national debate tournament. The first to do it in 2014. I'm telling you, like I really do this debate shit, and I sit around and I watch niggas cheerlead and advocate for mediocrity, and then go out to other spaces attached to our name, attached to SVDL, go out to these other spaces and not do what it is that they need to do because when they was over here, instead of telling niggas to be better, they kissing ass just because they want to be a part of some shit. You know what I mean? And so
yeah, that was an issue.
And so, it's it's like, so I hear something in them, like, you know, that weak ass SBDL shit. That's why he did that, because he came from over there. I hear that shit, and I want to be like, bro, that ain't got shit to do with SBDL. But a lot of Chris's accolades came from us. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Came from us. We called, I mean, I know everybody else called that nigga MVP. We called that nigga champ. We respected his championship. We respected what he did. You feel me? We, like, the way he moved, he built that air of being a, you know what I mean, with us, and that was cool. But it was like, all right, niggas will show love. Niggas will show love to niggas that'll turn around, shit on niggas. But then when them niggas is doing shit, we still get the short end of the stick, because niggas is coming at our reputation. You know what I mean?
Right.
So, yeah, what you say?
That's it.
Yeah. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, I've been sitting on it. I've just been listening. You feel me? And I just feel like, bro, it's just like this is a perfect example of why we just gotta be fucking better, bro. Like when it come to how the league move, as much as we enjoy seasons 1, 2, 3, and 4, nothing that we do moving forward can look like that. And the only people that's like, them was the best seasons, was niggas that was causing the most bullshit, getting the most from it, and not giving nothing back. Everybody else that was growing and adding to the competition and adding the shit, them niggas will tell you, yeah, shit was cool, but the competition and everything else since then has been better because of the evolution and what we've been doing. You know what I mean? But shit, I just wanted to hop in and holler at you real quick, bro, and do this quick rant. I done had this on my heart, you know what I'm saying, for a day now. So
yeah, I was on the same thing. I was that night. I damn near went, bro. If I didn't have to be up in like 4 hours, I would have went that night live. I was like, whoa, what the hell? I need to start talking about font size and shit. Like, that ain't no SBDL shit.
Right. But to answer Karaya's question, Karaya the introvert said, how do you personally feel about SBDL season 4 wrapping up the way that it did? I'm 100% cool, because I was like, in my eyes, it was more like, shit, not like, to be for real, it wasn't about like me being back in the playoffs. Cause even I was talking to Solar, it was like, niggas was like, well, I didn't want to be brought back. You know what I mean? Like that would have just created another distraction. I felt like I was just gonna be cool with just like, I'm gonna take this L, and then I'm gonna take a step back and consider, you know what I mean, how much I want to, you know what I mean, be involved and be engaged, right? But what ended up happening was when the shit happened with Minister Howe. Oh shit! Hold on. Y'all hear me? Am I on
here? Yeah, we can hear you.
Oh, you dropped off. You can hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Yeah. Because what he was actually talking about was after the Rio loss, I was to the point where, okay, enough is enough with the judges. Because really, it's even, like I said, I said this to you, Blue. It was even, stuff that I questioned even before the Domo situation. I questioned a couple of the debates, but the
my fault.
Yeah, it was a tipping point with the Rio. But so since it was so controversial with the Domo, Commissioner Angel was like, well, if we're going to do this with Rio, then we're going to have to, revisit Domo. So it was like, all right. So at that point, once it gets that complicated, because I'm like, okay, if we're going to do that, then we got to do like, all the other, all the other debates that, because I questioned a couple of other debates, but I respect the judges. It was kind of close debate. So, okay, I could see how you're seeing it that way. So, but like, once they get to the point where, okay, you're gonna bring this other person, then it was like, all right, well, it's probably best we shut the whole thing down at this point. If we get to the point where we gotta revisit debates, and then it's like, it just make it more like what Domo was saying. It just serves as another distraction. That like I mean, anything aside of just starting the whole playoffs over again, which would be like a disservice to the people that the judges voted for, would be an issue. So it was just best to kind of pull the plug at that point because it just was too crazy.
Right. Yeah, man. It was definitely you when you make your judgment, you just gotta make sure, man, you it doesn't get personal. Like is you strictly critiquing either the font or the argument itself. And I think when you if you slip outside of that, then it becomes like I think you opened it up for people to be able to say, well, damn, you know what I mean? Is there a problem with me? Or is the issue with, what I debated? And I think it was, I definitely was, I could see it. Like I said, I thought that, the debates was close. Like I could see why, to me, in my eyes, I could see why the judges had voted the way that they voted. And I could kind of see it maybe going that direction. But I think, though, the way that they went about explaining it, I don't think that was a fair way to explain it. And
Yeah. And that's something that we went over like at the meetings. I stressed that keep it brief. I literally said nothing like it shouldn't be going over 2 minutes, like with your explanation.
Right.
And it was almost like, they did the exact opposite of that. And it was like, with Jared, shout out to Jared because he is actually a cool person. So it's not personal.
Right. Hello? You cut out if you talking. Yeah, but definitely. It's got to be tighter, man. It's just got to be tighter. And I think I would have liked to have seen.
Yeah, can you hear me?
Okay, yeah, there you go.
Yeah, I'm under the bridge, so yeah. I agree. You know what I'm saying? The judging, like, because that's something that we stressed. We stressed, keep it brief to the point, just highlight, some of the things that you've seen and, just keep it pushing, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, because, and it's not, just, to knock anybody that won the debates, and was able to convince the judges, and that's the quagmire. It's almost like, on the one hand, like, okay, I feel as though this person won, but the judges voted for that person,
Right.
and so it's kind of like, all right, that's why I got them as judges. But then it's just like, it just got to the point where it's just like, everybody but the judges is saying that this person, you know what I'm saying? And it was like, I know what I seen. I know what I seen. And I know the difference between, okay, because I always say it, I know the difference between us. I can see how a person would vote for him. I do think this person won, but I can see how somebody voted for him. But it got to, a couple of the last couple of debates, it got to the point where it was just like, there's no way that I can see how, and but with that being said, my man Reem, I knew him since we was 12. We played little league together. We cried when we lost and shit in the playoffs, and
But it's like boxing,
you know what I mean? He is adamant.
right?
He's adamant. I think Scheme beat Rio. this is
Oh
what he's
yeah,
saying. This is what he's
what's
saying.
his
Like he's
name too?
adamant on that. Like he's not backing down from. And I'm like, yo, keep it real, keep it real. Like you know what I'm saying? Like he like, nah, I think scheme won. So it's just like, um, uh, it's kind of unfair to put him in the situation because of the fact that he was kind of a fill-in judge in light of all the stuff that was going on. So is there certain nuances within the judging that should have been highlighted? Because he literally said on his decision was like, although Rio had the better presentation and although you know he was clear, the PowerPoint was, those are things.
That's what wins you a debate.
Yeah, can't say that. And that was my issue. I didn't necessarily have an issue with the judgment. I had more so an issue with why they said that they judged the other. I was like, ugh. Because like I said, man, it's boxing for me. And it's like, if anybody who watches boxing, you'll know you probably watched plenty of fights where you seen one dude win. And in your eyes, you watched it and it looked clear. And then when you went to those scorecards, that nigga lost by like 4-5 rounds. It was like he might as well. It was almost like the judges put in you know what I mean? Sometimes like they put in a scorecard before the fight. But that's boxing. You know what I'm saying? It's like I just watched the boxing match like that. It was a dude named Iman Emmanuel or something like that.
Man, I remember back in the day, man, because me and Reem argued about, that decision with you as well. It was like a back and forth because what I seen in that debate was you laid out like, nuances within African culture. So it wasn't necessarily a requirement to like deal. I mean, it's impossible to do, like just deal with every African culture. So obviously you pointed out a group of people that was considered African in the Bible, which would be the Canaanites and what they were doing. So I thought that was enough to, to convince you convinced me. You know what I'm saying? Like with showing that after laying down the premise of, these are the nuances of African culture. The Bible's against that. So what I'm looking for is an example of that. And I thought so that was shown. So I'm like, all right. So yeah, okay. What you got to say about that? I think what KOD did was I think that's maybe the same strategy that with the Pastor Bennett situation. Like, the different, like you just kind of not dealt with what was in the Bible. Oh, my joint's breaking up. Is that me?
Nah, you good. That might be on my end.
Yeah, hello.
Yeah, you good.
Yeah. So I think the nuances would be like, you know what I mean? I think that's kind of like the Pastor Bennett strategy to kind of point out like maybe Ethiopian and like, he never really went into the Bible per se. It was a good strategy, So far as with what KOT was doing, but I felt as though if we're talking about the Bible, then it should be the Bible, like what is in the Bible. So, but it was a close debate. So I'm like, all right, you know what I mean? And I don't want to be in a position where I'm like, you know what I'm saying, with the judging, especially at that time, I think another close debate was the Holly and pro-black debate too. I think that was a one too, and it could have went either way, So it's a fine line between that and then what actually, goes down where it's like, how is I don't see how they seeing it that way type of thing, so it's unnecessary. Certain things is necessary for, I guess, us to make a executive decision, and that's just what was had to be made at the time. I mean,
Yeah,
yeah,
definitely, man.
yeah. So the the idea at this point is to kind of retune or fine tune the judging, and be more thorough in what we expect from the judges. And there has to be somebody, how they would say it got to be somebody policing the police. With the police, who's policing the police? So it got to be somebody judging
Right.
the judge. It got to be somebody like, whoa, what was that? We do shit like this, right? So that makes it like, a little more, because a lot of times, most people in this society, they don't break rules is because they know they'll be penalized for it, not because they moral and shit. And you could see that every time like a natural disaster happens. You got all types of crazy shit going on because there's really lawlessness, and they could get away with it, So motherfuckers looting and stealing and all types of shit. You know what I mean? That's what they really want to do. But see, you can't do that in a normal situation because you'll have to get locked up for that. So we need that type of
Structure.
situation. Yeah, structure where it's just like, these people know that that's not even a thought. You know what I mean? To get that thought out your head, that, okay, I agree with this person, but, all that type of shit, I don't, we want to get it to where it's like, it's all about debate skills. And, it's like I said, we the pioneers of this shit. So we got to take the responsibility of, like, the setbacks and all the shit that comes with that. So that is what it is. But far as with the Sinetta and the whole thing, you know what I'm saying? The Sinetta and Tazariot, statements. I don't know why they feel the need to continue to bring up what we doing over here. I don't know why they felt as though the Chris Harris thing really is just them revealing what they was doing from the beginning. What that reveals is that you never really brought him into HOK. That's what that really revealed. Because if he was HOK, that would have been nothing that would cross your mind. That shows you right there that the only reason why Chris over there is because he's trying to get at what we doing over here, and Solomon in particular. So he still views you.
Oh, you just cut out. Oh, I gotta know that you win that debate. Did you win?
Yeah, it's like didn't he do like 3 debates before that one?
Yeah, about 3 or 4. At least.
Yeah, so it's like, so how is he? That's just like OKC is like still claiming Durant and shit. No, that nigga with the Nets now. That's just like him saying, "Oh yeah, you lost first round. Yeah, that's that OKC shit." Nah, nigga, that nigga's with the Nets. He lost in the first round as a Net. That's what happened. That nigga ain't over here no more. That nigga was doing that type of behavior when he was over here. That ain't got nothing to do with SBDL. That got something to do with Chris Harris and his personality. That's what that got something to do with. But the reason why they got to attach that is, one, on a much deeper level. So I never seen him as HOK. He was just a pawn that was used to try to get at Soleiman and SVDL. So I'm gonna take one of your debaters. That's all that shit was. But he never seen, because why would that statement be made? Oh yeah, that's what they do over there. That's what they do over there. But he debated over here, over on your channel, about 4 times and shit. It wasn't no problem. Those 4 times that he debated.
Wait to get that
I heard that. I hear that he beat Zion Lex, so it wasn't a problem then. Was he HOK then? You know what I'm saying? Like, so it's like, yo, Chris Harris needs emotional discipline. That ain't got nothing to do with SVDL. And I wish the best for him. I really think that that's a better place for him. You know what I'm saying? Because nobody's judging the debate. Nobody's saying, that's why when he did, only thing I didn't like what Chris Harris did was bring the judges on his channel and how he parted ways. It could have been a conversation like, look, you know what I'm saying, sign another call me, you know what I mean? I want to do my thing, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I wouldn't have fucked with you no more when you did that, but it would have been a little bit, okay, okay. Go ahead, do your thing. But he tried to make it into like this controversy. He thought that I was going to feed into the fuck shit that he was doing to justify why he felt as though the grass was greener on the other side and shit. So the way he moved, and that's just why the same type of characteristics that will lead him to do that, it's the same characteristics that will make him leave in the middle of the debate. So that ain't got shit to do with SVDL.
That was that, I mean, they couldn't wait to get them bars off. I'm like, wait, they going into how you can define look and so many words. I'm like, I ain't got nothing.
And they acting like they're the upper echelon of debating and shit.
Yeah, that's the worst part.
Like, dude, like really, like really, nigga, y'all shit is the basic shit. Y'all shit is basic. Outside of Jabari, who really is over there? Who really is over there?
Chris and Yara.
You know what I'm saying? Nobody's over there, like, you know, like who's dropping a profound science? Who was it? Garfield? Like, and this is the thing, right? We went to the vaccination and at the vaccination debate. We talk about the vaccine, right? Garfield was scared to even say something. He was scared to even say something. They was asking him to come up. He was afraid. He was afraid to getting up there and actually speaking. And there was always that nervous energy when you see that nigga in person. Garfield. So it's just like, yo, that's who you talking about? Like, who are these debaters that you're talking about? That's like, you know, these scholarly motherfuckers. You know what I'm saying? Captain Tazariot is alright far as with his intellect and how he sees things. I mean, I can understand his logic.
Right. But
you know what I'm saying? As to why he come up to, but he lacks information. That nigga lacks information. And for him to sit up there like, yeah, that's a dumb debate, like he really is a nigga that don't know shit, but he's logical with his explanation. That's his strong point. It ain't like this nigga like got information and shit like that. Your shit is basic. Like, you know what I'm saying? So is that the motherfucker you're talking about? Who are you talking about? Like, who is these profound debaters that you're talking about that's over there?
Like, bro. Like, you still arguing for King James, bro? No.
Yeah, like, and that's what I'm saying. Like, by the mere fact that you still, like, even how you interpret the Bible, because it could be a motherfucker that's in the Bible be on some deep shit. Your shit's still basic, even in that area. It's basic as fuck, bro. You know what I'm saying? So it's just like, yo, like these dudes, bro. Who else is over there? Reggie? Who you talking about? Reggie? Like, who are these like debaters that you're talking about?
Yeah, Reggie got info, but he ain't a good debater. He definitely ain't And Reggie got solid info. I was actually on Q show with him. We had a really, really, really good discussion. But
So
debate,
who? Like, yeah. So who's these motherfuckers? Like Reggie? Like, nigga. Like, come on, bro. Like, who? Like, who the fuck is they talking about? Like, who are these mother? And then the rest of the motherfuckers is like SPDL rejects and shit. You know what I'm saying? Like, that the rest of the motherfuckers. And don't think we don't know. You know what I'm saying? One of the criteria of getting over there, is trying to. So even like the motherfuckers like that got over there, that's still because of me. That's still because of me. You know what I'm saying? So like all this shit is a big ass facade, is a big ass game. Like we're pushing forward. We want to elevate, you know what I'm saying, the quality of the debates and the whole nine. And like it'll be almost like SPDO, like if we was to even like compare like SPDL and Jabari. Like, you know what I mean? Like they don't have nobody else over there.
right?
You know what I'm saying? Ain't nobody else over there. Pastor Bennett? Like, who you talking about? Like, who is the motherfucker?
Yeah, that's what I'm like. And really, those are like guest stars. Yeah, they come through out of like favor. And Jabari about tired of getting put in there with anybody anyway. I seen the last time that nigga felt so disrespected in his last debate. He's like, I don't even know why I'm up here with this nigga. I'm like, yeah.
And yeah, like even that discussion that me and Jabari had, it's some motherfuckers that say that he won, some motherfuckers say that I won, right? I literally, this is how that debate happened, right? Nigga calls me like, yeah, Jabari trying to get at you on the voting. And I'm like, okay, all right, let's set it up. So we had a discussion, like, all right, you know what I'm saying? We laid down the what we're gonna be talking about and what, we expecting. So I'm like, all right, cool. I'm about to hang up. And he like, yeah, I'm gonna call you in 30 minutes. Like 30 minutes for what? The debate. I'm like, you trying to debate this like right now? Like, what are you talking about? Like, the fuck you talking about right now? Like, yeah. So this nigga got me debating Jabari. That was like 30 minutes, like 30 minutes, like said, like 20 minutes putting some shit together real quick. And like if I had a day to put together what I could have put together and shit, it wouldn't have even been close and shit. And that's their main man. That's their dude and shit. And that's all they really got is Jabari. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, we moving forward, man. It just is what it is, bro. Like, you know what I mean? We push the envelope as to what we expect from debaters. And I could see, right? Because like it's on a note now, like, nigga, get off my dick, bro. Like, goddamn, I'm not talking about you. And like I said to you, Blue, this is what we talk about when you're talking about these New York niggas. They don't know when to stop. It's cool. I'm not talking about you. I'm doing me. That they think that means bitch. That they think that means – okay, so when I bring you up, and it gets back to you. I don't want to hear shit about, oh yeah, see these niggas on, because you keep on bringing my goddamn name up. You keep on saying shit. And they, like, nigga, that's your man's. Chris Harris, that's your man's. You know what I mean? He went over there with y'all motherfuckers. What did that have to do with any other conversation? That nigga left in the middle of your debate. Now, he did that shit over here, too. There's been a few shuckle bucks that nigga just dropped off in the middle of the shuckle buck. The whole shit when he left with G-Con. You know what I'm saying? The shit that he did with T-Duck when he threw the trophies away, that's just Chris Harris, bro.
Right.
What the fuck that got to do with what's going on, what we doing over here and shit? Now, if you want that work, you can get that fucking work. Because really, I'll eliminate everybody over there myself and shit. It wouldn't even get to the people that's really debating. I eliminate all the motherfuckers, Jabari included. I eliminate all the motherfuckers. Tazari, it wouldn't even be close. I eliminate all the motherfuckers myself. That's even before it gets to the real debaters and shit. Because I'm not even a real debater. We talking about, okay, we bring in Blue in, we bring in Domo, we bring in Yanga, we bring in, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, real debaters. Like, you're not going to stand a chance with them in a structured debate where it's just like, yeah, not no crazy shit with y'all, like, you know what I'm saying, dropping bombs and all that shit. Because that's what you used to do. And that's another thing. Like, you...
Oh, you cut out.
Like you with this whole thing, like, nigga, I'm showing you how to do shit, bro. I'm glad that you call your shit a league now, because you didn't do that until my shit came. It was signed at the TV. I heard signed at the studios. I heard that shit. It wasn't no big league until Solar Mind came out with his shit. So I'm glad you call it a league now. You can thank me later for that shit. But this game always been played, because this don't even go back to Chris Harris. This goes all the way back to remember season 1. Who was over here? Black Jesus Minister. Remember when he left? Yeah, that's how he got his open door to side of the TV. You know what I'm saying? So he was doing this type of shit. Been doing this type of shit, bro. Like, yo, get off my dick, bro. It's cool. It's all good. You know what I mean? Yeah, it's just like, and then I'm looking at this nigga, like, this nigga getting old and shit is almost like that senile shit. You know how the niggas got the senile look on their face and shit? Like, kind of like spaced out a little bit, like he's still trying to go hard and he's too old to go hard type shit. Like, yeah, see, you know, like over there in that other debate league, like, you know, like, nigga, get off my dick, bro.
Stop, bro.
Like, stop it, bro. Y'all niggas is like fucking.
Not a league.
Yeah, bro. And then I'm looking at the whole panel. It's just a bunch of old ass niggas on a deathbed. You know what I'm saying? Just a bunch of old ass niggas up there. You know what I'm saying?
No new talent.
We want to push the envelope. I mean, look, all our shit is better. Our swag is better. What we do over here is better. Quality of debates is better. Competition is better. You know what I'm saying? You hold on to notoriety and shit. That's what's keeping you. You hold on to your little notoriety and shit. You know what I'm saying?
That's it.
Yeah. So it's like, yo, you can have that. You can have it, all good.
Carry, you know what I'm saying, a certain amount of weight, but that's dying though. Like,
yeah. So it's like, you know, and then like I said, I'm over here doing me. I'm doing me. Get on my dick, bro. Like. That's your man's. Chris Harris says that's your man's. Keep him over there. It's cool. That's your man's. You know what I'm saying? There wasn't no issues when he was over there doing his thing. You know what I'm saying? And like I said before, I think that's a better place for Chris Harris. There's no judging. You know what I'm saying? He gets a little emotional. He don't really like to be judged like that. You know what I'm saying? The mental toughness is it was getting better. It was getting better. but then he had the little fallout. It's like you think it's getting better, but then he'll have like a whole crazy, like it's right before he did what he did, with the stream that he did with the judges. I just got off the phone with this nigga Chris Harris. He was setting up a debate with Suave. The nigga was setting up a debate with Suave. I got off the phone with him. You know, they was talking about a debate topic or whatever, and that was that. And then a couple hours later, this nigga live with like the judges on there and shit. So I don't know what's up with that nigga. I don't know what's the matter with that boy. I don't know what's going on. But yeah, that's the way he moved. That's always been Chris Harris. Like, he's the type of nigga that will leave in the middle of a debate. You know what I'm saying? So that is what it is, you know. We don't groom them type of motherfuckers. Them niggas don't. We don't groom that type of shit over here. Like what y'all was saying. You know what I'm saying? These motherfuckers there for the long haul. This is really like, and then there's like these old ass niggas up there talking about like, yeah, cause okay. Yeah, so it's just like, you know what I mean? If anything, this is the real shit right here. Cause this ain't no just one debate here and there, and like, you know, you got this little thing there. You're dealing with a whole season of debates, and you're dealing with a playoffs, and you're dealing with a championship. Yeah, hold on a second. I gotta order.
You good? Yeah, I think that's the difference. I think we talked about this. We got into it with another league. Well, a league that was trying to start out is that it's a lot that kind of goes into this. I mean,
it's like, I mean, y'all still is basic with y'all shit. Like, it's like a public opinion type of thing, and like both motherfuckers saying they went in on that bullshit. Like, no, we wanna have real winners. We wanna have real champions. We wanna have real shit. Like, you know what I'm saying? Whatever y'all niggas is afraid to doing that shit. Like, so it's just like, yeah, we're gonna push the envelope. 75 all right, thank you. And let the chips fall where they may. So yeah, this is like, you know what I mean? Where's it at? Like, you know what I mean? You gotta love the competition. You know what I'm saying? It's just when niggas get on some fuck shit. You know what I'm saying? It's just when niggas get on some fuck shit. That be the problem. And there's always some slick ass Harlem niggas. Some slick ass Harlem niggas. Over there up in New York. Some slick ass Harlem niggas that they can talk a lot of shit, but they can't take it. They can't take motherfuckers talking shit back to them. They got this arrogance about them. You know what I'm saying? And this is why, right, them niggas always be having issues when they go out of town. Because they always try to do that New York shit when they going out of town. And niggas ain't having that shit. So this is all they do. They really talking shit. But see,
yeah, they'll talk to you like you ain't shit, bro.
Yeah, it's like, you know what I mean? That's why Snoop and them did that video. You know what I'm saying? That New York, everything in New York ain't always what it seems. And that's real. Because after you get past all the little slick talking and all the jive and all the language that you think is cool, it's another nigga. And in fact, you're not even a real New York nigga, because if you was, you'll still be in New York on some shit. You know what I'm saying? You probably like, you probably the average New York nigga. Then you move to like North Carolina trying to act like you was some big nigga up in New York and shit. And then once we get past all the little slick jive talking, we see right through your ass like, okay, you're really a bitch ass nigga. And they do this whole thing, and that's the purpose of that video. Like, you know, we bringing you down to earth, we kicking down the buildings and all this shit that y'all think is make y'all better than everybody else, because everything in New York ain't always what it seems. You know what I'm saying? So it's like, but then like when niggas do that, they're making it to a whole nother issue. And that's why, like, you know, they're making it to a whole nother issue. And that's when shit gets taken to a whole nother level. It gets taken to a whole nother level because you can't take what you dish out. You can't take what you dish out. And I've been quiet for a minute. Like, I've been quiet for a minute, not responding to none of that shit. But it's like, all right, nigga, all right. All right. We'll see. We'll see as far as what Tazariot saying, you know, because like I said, I'll destroy them niggas myself and shit. And then after I do it, say that I'm not even a debater and shit. I just host the debates. Y'all not even touching my debaters and shit. With your basic Israelite knowledge. It ain't even on no deep shit. Now, I seen you when you first came out, like Tazariot. I was there when you first started getting known. He knows that. I was around up in New York when you first started getting known and shit. Yeah, bro. I mean, like I said, you know, you make logical arguments, lack information though. Like, you're ignorant on a lot of shit. So it was like, you're not gonna fool me with that. But these motherfuckers getting, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, and I understand the whole thing with these motherfuckers. I mean, you made the name off yourself with the cross the line shit. You know what I'm saying? You held on to that, you know, from cross the line radio. You got cross the line t-shirts, cross the line cologne, cross the line, all that shit. Cool. It's awesome. It's awesome. You know what I'm saying?
But it's like, even in that, it's like,
yeah, it's like, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the cross the line t-shirts, the cross the line, you know, show. You got the cross the line cologne and shit, the cross the line beard, you know, oil and all that type of shit. Cool. Awesome. You know what I'm saying? Yeah, hold on to that. You need to worry about that. Hold on to that and shit. Because I sat there like, you know what I mean? I could be an asshole. Like, you know, what he said, what was the words that he used, Blue, when he talking about the debate league?
Oh, he said that juvenile. Did he say juvenile? Damn.
No, he said something about slow or like stupid or like some shit like that, lame. Or...
Yeah, that slow ass debate. That's what he said. That slow ass debate.
Now, I would be wrong to say that slow ass camp that you in. This is the thing, right? Him saying that was cool, right? If I was to respond and say that slow ass camp you in, then I'll be wrong and shit.
Right.
Be wrong. I would be wrong if I said, yeah, y'all slow as shit because your leader told you to get the vaccine and shit. That's some slow ass shit. And that's stuff like that's nothing that an Israelite camp that's supposed to be separating should be doing.
Be thinking about.
If you think that the white man is the devil, white people don't even trust the fucking vaccine. You mean to tell me your leader is going to tell you to get the vaccine and that's cool? But see, it's always been something with him as the Minister Howell pulled out that 501c3 shit.
Mm-hmm.
But it all makes sense though, because y'all want to get the fucking vaccine. But I'm wrong. I'm wrong for doing this right here. I'm wrong. I'm on some fuck shit right now, right? When I wasn't even mentioning their name, like that segment didn't even have to be brought into the scenario. That ain't had to be brought up. Like about like where he used to be and all that type of shit. It ain't had nothing to do with what happened on your shit. You know what I'm saying?
Nice.
It had nothing to do with that. You decided to bring my name up that slow ass debate league. Well, obviously your camp is slower than the motherfuckers. Y'all gonna get that damn vaccination. And don't think that we ain't see that you bowed down to the goddamn white man when that whole shit happened when Israelites shot up that market. So it's twice. You know what I'm saying? What I wanted to hear, if you was like a real Israelite, you'd have been like, no, that wasn't enough. Like what Khalid Muhammad said. The man that shot up the motherfuckers up on a bus. He said, I love that motherfucker. You know what I'm saying? Even though he had nothing to do with it. Y'all niggas like, yeah, we don't know him in any type of way. We don't condone any violence. And
Like, damn.
how you gonna establish the Israelite nation
Without any violence?
bowing down to the devil? You bow down to the devil. And you probably bow down to the goddamn devil because he gave you that 501c3. See, you don't want to get that 501c3 taken away. You don't want to get that 501c3 taken away. So you know you got to toe the line now. You're compromised, right? Only reason why I'm bringing all this shit up right now is because I was minding my damn business and you want to bring my name into your shit. You was judging or hosting that debate. Stay over there, bro. Stay over there with it. Now, yeah, let's set that debate up. Are Israelites real Israelites that's fighting against the system of white supremacy with a 501c3 and shit? Can you fight and defeat the devil under a 501c3? Let's debate that. Oh yeah, see, Judge Solar, man, you on some fuck shit right now. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. Okay, cool. Cool. You know what I'm saying?
Yep. And you can't, bro. That's that toting the line shit.
Yeah. What's going to be revolutionary? That's why you had to make those statements. And that's why the white man asked you those questions. Let me see if this nigga going to have the audacity to bulk up against me. Let me see if he's going to get in his ego. So are you one of those Israelites that condone the you got this nigga on camera like, you know, I want to see this nigga dance. Let's see this nigga dance around this shit. Show enough.
They became about all people then.
Yeah.
Damn. What the fuck? You niggas be stunting, bro.
I was disappointed when I heard Yana talk like, oh, wow. Because I'm in Philly. I done seen that nigga in his prime when he was going in. This is before the 501c3. That nigga used to go in, bro. God damn, bro. You know what I'm saying? So, hey, man, that is what it is. They told him out of fuck alone and shit. That's all.
Yeah, man, they just don't have. I said, man, them dudes, that information over there is at least a decade behind. Like the topics are behind by a decade. All of that. It's like, man, we went past that.
Yeah. It's like, but they act like they're the pinnacle of debating and shit. Like, what the fuck are you talking about, dude?
good. Y'all are good at arguing, bro. Y'all haven't been in any structured debate. You've had no winner or loser. Both sides every time is able to go back to their space and say, we won. Come on, man. No. Somebody need to go back mad.
Card.
Like, I'm good. I'd rather take a loss than come back to me and tell y'all I won. And then the other nigga I debated is on his channel saying he won. Hell no. I'd rather come here with a loss. Like, hey, didn't get it done.
Yeah. So yeah, man. That is what it is. That is what it is.
Yeah, man. That's pretty good. Bible debate. They discussions haven't went any further outside. Even when and it's like they get into like Kemetic stuff, but that's biblical. And it's like even the shit when they don't talk about West Africa, and when they do, it's always about connecting West Africa to Kenya. Like, bro, what the fuck? Like, nigga, we mud hut gang. We get that shit up out of here. And which is part of the reason why I even established the whole fuck them pyramids rhetoric in general, was because of those discussions over there. I seen how they was going, and then it was like the only niggas who was fighting, they getting their ass whooped because they so connected to Kemet. So they able to say, well, if you can be Kemetic, why I can't be Israelite? It's like, nah, we ain't Kemetics. We ain't no goddamn Israelites, man. Like, straight up. Now, Psycho, I think in a when we having a discussion, I think we can say that, right? That Christianity is the white man's religion. Damn, you said my audio that bad?
I can hear you.
What about now? Is it any better? Yeah, hopefully it'll get a little bit better. I was gonna say though, I think though when you debate though, I think the safer the debate that I would take is the Bible Greco-Roman, or is Christianity Greco-Roman. And the reason why I take that in a debate as opposed to, okay, it's good now. Okay, yeah, I think in general, I think the reason why you take it the Greco-Roman route is because you don't want to get in a debate happening to prove white people in during the Greco-Roman time, and then having to explain why Jerome isn't black, or nah, it's Greco-Roman. It's Greco-Roman. The culture is Eurasian, and because I'm gonna tell you why. Because a lot of the times when you talking to these people, it's based on possibilities. That's all they need. We was talking about this earlier. They just need it to be possible that Jonah was in the belly of a whale. It doesn't have to be, actually a fact. But if it's a possibility, that's good enough for them to hold on to that. So when you have the discussion, you got to eliminate all possibility. There isn't. So there is, when you go in black and white, there's a possibility you can see some people who may look black rocking with the Romans in them, with the Greco-Roman. Or you may see some people that possibly look black. They're at the Council of Nicaea. But I think
Was Arius, was he a black man?
Arian? Nah. I think he was a white dude, if I ain't mistaken. I think he was a white dude. But I could be. I didn't see a picture. I never seen a picture of him though. Okay, I never seen a picture of him though. Close the door, boo boo. But I think he was a white dude though. It was crazy too because I was looking at the names of the like all of the people who was at that council. You know, Santa Claus was Saint Nick was there.
He said Santa Claus.
Nick, yeah, Nicholas Claus. That nigga was at the council. I was like, oh shit, look at this shit. So it
Probably
give
old
you an
Saint Nick.
idea. Yeah, them people be, you know what I'm saying? You'll think like it just be random people and shit. Hell
Well, ain't
nah,
it, well, no, ain't his name Chris Kringle though? What's that nigga?
nah, it was Claus. It was Nicholas Saint. It was like Nicholas Claus. Saint, and then he
Nicholas
became
Claus.
Saint Nick, and then it became Santa Claus. I'm like, oh shit. So that those people, when we be thinking like there's no connection between Christmas and Christianity, that'd be a lie. It be the connections be in the saints and all of that type of stuff. The people that they ordain, and, you know what I mean. These people be put in certain places. So his connection is there. That nigga. The reason why Santa Claus is important on Christmas and to Christianity is because that nigga was there when they wrote the Bible, when they compiled the Bible.
Right.
You can say that, but then here comes the argument, right? And the only reason why I say that because I think on surface level, yeah, we talking about Greeks and Romans, we gonna say those are white people. But I think when you get into more of the more slippery Hebrews and Christians, they gonna say, well, how you say prove that these people or white people didn't exist before 200 years ago? When you start getting that type of argument, you know what I'm saying? So it is. I I think I just keep it easier to say because I think, like I said, outside of a debate, my conversation, yeah, it's the white man. But I think in the debate, I'm a narrow it down. No, these are Greco-Roman people. So if there's any black people that was involved, that's fine. If there's any, you know what I mean? But they were Greco-Roman. And the reason why I put both of them is because some of them people was Greeks, some of those people were Roman. Some of it happened during the Greco time period, some of it happened when the Romans was in charge. But they like really it almost seems like Greece and Rome is kind of one fucking empire, really.
Yeah. Yeah,
It's kind of
That's how they call it Greco-Roman. I mean, it's kind of like, switching over, you know what I mean? Because I
yeah.
think that the Romans came. But the Romans came, that would be kind of like the beginning of that transition to what we today call Christianity. Like a lot of the stuff happened during that period. But they would still have you know, the bishops of Christ, and you know, they still hold on to some pagan customs going into the turn of the century. But eventually, once they had cultural control over that region, that's when you begin to see them kind of redefining shit. Okay, blow. Oh yeah, he's muted. Yeah, well, yeah. That's as far as with the Romans, you can kind of see them
My fault. You
crafting
broke
out.
up when you asked that. What you had asked?
Do you think Socrates was the actual person?
Oh no, not Socrates. Nah, not him. I don't think Benito was real either.
Yeah, when George D. James books with Soul and Legacy. He's kind of like connecting teachings of Socrates, and how he was taught by the Egyptians, and how it was stolen knowledge. So you think that they stole the knowledge and made up a pseudonym?
Yep. A name to kind of, a lot of those names is made, like a lot of those people are the same authors. I think the only like real ones that they have at that time, you might get like maybe like Philo and like Josephus. And then I think they do a bunch of writing and they start naming those people, like just giving them different names. Like, oh, this is Prometheus. It's almost like they just created this whole line of scholars that don't really exist. Cause like the Manetho being this Egyptian high priest, that was some bullshit. Like once you go into that story, it's a lie. And then you can tell like it's a few other people, like especially when you start going into like the Septuagint and all of that, you will start seeing a lot of those people are the same writers under different names and stuff. What's the dude name? Aristoteles or whatever it is. That dude is.
You got Aristotle, Anaximenes.
Right. Give me 1 second. But yeah, I think in general, a lot of those authors, I think you'll find like Paul. If I'm mistaken, Paul is like Philo. You could tell they went to like the same school. It's a bunch of little stuff. That's why I was looking even at Josephus. When you look at his writings is supposed to be before this New Testament and all of that. But what you'll see is he be confirming a lot. Like he plays like he's in so much disagreement with the New Testament, but yet he manifested the whole book of Revelation. You boy. Yeah. But you like, that's why I came out with that show I did on 70 AD never happened. I'm gonna tell you, when you go into 70 AD, first of all, you have to start validating things in history that never happened, that didn't exist. You have to agree that there was this temple there for Titus to destroy. There was no temple. You have to believe that you have to believe that, not only Did Titus had his temple to be destroyed? But also, y'all wild. My fault, y'all. But yeah, you'll see that that's just like, and that's why I be saying like it's WWF. Josephus would pretend like he has all of these disagreements with Jesus and plays like Jesus, like he don't believe what Jesus is legit, but he legitimizes Jesus in his writings by showing that that everything from the book of Revelations happened in 70 AD. He was describing it word for word. But he did it as if he was being non-biased because he don't, I don't like that dude. No. It works in a circle of motion because they all need each other to uphold each other. Judaism needs Christianity. Christianity needs Judaism. Same thing with Islam. It's to validate history that didn't happen. Didn't happen. Titus did not go in no 70 AD and conquer no Jerusalem and destroy no temple, because no temple ever existed in Jerusalem that belonged to no damn Israelites. Never existed. This kingdom of David, all that. No, man. Y'all, these are games that they be playing. That's why I say I'm careful about mainstream science and what I'll rock with. Because in a lot of ways, they will pretend like they are so much against the Abrahamic religions in the Bible and all of that, but then they be validating shit in the Bible. I told y'all, what do? They come into, well, no, this is Y chromosome, Adam. This is mitochondria, Eve. Nigga, that's Adam and Eve. And in a lot of ways, it still be about making the same rhetoric or the same argument that white people are the last evolution of man. That's the main point of the argument, is to prove that white people are the last evolution of man. So every day, exactly. And that's why I be trying to tell black people. And not even just black people, Aboriginal people in general, globally. Because now you see, you're getting more and more Puerto Ricans is starting to pick this trash up. And they're linking, and see, this is where you got to get slick with these scientists. They pull out these articles that are linked, and yeah, these are Hebrew inscriptions we found in Puerto Rico. No, they aren't. What Hebrew? What Hebrew? I keep telling y'all, what Hebrew? Where is it? You find all of these Hebrew writings. We ain't even found a Hebrew Bible. I don't understand. So you'll see that it's like, well, they had the greatest God ever, and all of these great kingdoms. But all of that stuff that you need to validate it, it's burnt up. And this fire had to be a nuclear blast because it just blasted away any fucking evidence of these biblical people, the temples, blasted the shit away. Like clean off to the map. You go looking for the temple, there's zero evidence for the temple. That shit is gone, been blasted off of the map. And think about this. They claiming that they done found Zerubbabel's temple. His temple was supposed to be rebuilt on top of Solomon. Well, how the hell you can't find Solomon's temple? And when you go into it, they ain't even found Zerubbabel's temple. And the stuff that they did find in Jerusalem, it don't date back to the Israelites. So the question be, well, what were these people doing exactly? Nothing. Nothing. See, they get to claim like these people were just these scholarly Asiatics that were doing all of this writing. Exactly. They followed L. And we know why, Yana, because we can go to there and find all of their statues. And it's funny too, because if you look at the statue of the so-called Joseph, which is really weird, they got this statue of Joseph that they found inside of this empty tomb. So I say, man, y'all gotta watch these people with how they talk to you. All right, when you read these different articles and Science magazine, just pay attention to them. It started out with this empty ass tomb that they found all of their shit in. I don't know how you find an empty tomb and it's got all of this stuff in it. Last time I checked, if you find an empty tomb, that means there's nothing in it. But they found an empty tomb and they got this whole story about it being belonging to Joseph. And they got the picture and the statue. And when you look at the statue of Joseph, his eyes, right, the big round eyes match the guys that they was the statues that the Israelites or whatever they was building in the land of Israel. It matches the eyes of these Canaanites in them was building. Same exact look. So they can try to escape it, but like I said, we already know these were Asiatic drawings. These are Eurasian statues. This was a Eurasian god. These people had a Eurasian culture. The only thing that they didn't have is a Eurasian book. The Bible is Greco-Roman. That's why I say, man, stop letting these people go to the Hebrew until they show you a Hebrew as a source. We don't have a Hebrew book to be claiming it to be the source. All of these sources are lost. These are lost sources. The Masoretic text, a lost source. Then Battle Axe and what was it? Shout out to Battle Axe and Akhenaten. They just got through beating up on the what you call it? On the Dead Sea Scrolls. They just destroyed the Dead Sea Scrolls. They just destroyed the Dead Sea Scrolls. They showed it. It was written in. They got stuff in there that they hold dearly, written in modern Hebrew. And when they go back to the other stuff, it's in Aramaic. That's a fact. That's a fact. Different empires came in and went and destroyed real history. Destroyed real history. And this is why I say we have to have the book burning.
That's baby egg.
I see. He's not supposed to have an egg, Mama.
That's the baby egg.
I see.
So I put it in my bed. I put it in my bed in Canaan's prayer, and I was laying in my bed when I was a little baby in Canaan's prayer.
When you was a little baby.
Yes.
No, you still a little baby.
Yes.
Okay. So this is why I talk about the book burning. I don't know if y'all seen the movie. Y'all may have read the book. Thank you, baby. Fahrenheit 451. They also made a movie on Fahrenheit 451. And the reason why they were burning all of these books in this movie or in the book is because they needed to change. They needed to wipe away the old ideology, right? And anything that would make people remember, anything that would make people remember the old life, the old world, the old way of thinking, right? And then also it would destroy the evidence of how we got to this point. That's a lot of what happened in this situation, and a lot of the books and information that has been put out has been misguided information, has been just lies. And to me, the truth is something that you just gonna have to draw a conclusion with. I don't think it's something that you can necessarily prove, right? I don't think that they left enough evidence for you to just prove it without a shadow of a doubt. But I think if you start thinking and you draw enough conclusions, you'll be able to see what the truth is. The goal has not changed for Europeans or Eurasian people in general. It has not changed. I already said when we talk about Darwinism, the ideology of Darwinism or social Darwinism, whatnot, it was very simple. Black people we all evolve, and that the white man is the last evolution of people, making black people primitive. And when you incorporate natural selection, making us fair game to kill off, right? Because remember, they have a very perverted version of natural selection, which means, and as long as you allow yourself to be killed, then it's only happening because it's supposed to. That's the only reason, right? Because remember, he blames the gazelle for getting eaten by the lion, right? The gazelle shows up every day to the water hole, and remember he said that this gazelle knows that the lion is there waiting to eat him, but yet the gazelle shows up every day and does nothing differently to keep itself from being eaten by the lion. This is the comparison between the African and the Eurasian. We are the gazelles that show up at the water hole every day, knowing that there are lions there waiting to eat us. This is the argument. He said Joseph Stalin, yeah, he did. But I think though the problem though too is if you don't get rid of the ideology, you allow that to kind of that mentality to either creep in amongst your own people, or it still has life amongst those people, and one day can, like today, I think we've been seeing like the fastest growth in in Germany amongst the Nazis, like since like the time of Hitler. Yeah. So anyway, I think at the end of the day, yeah, I think when, like I said, and I just kind of want to go back to why I even had the title labeled the way that it is, and just kind of go back with some of the discussion we was kind of getting into with Psychopathies. And shout out, y'all need to make sure y'all subscribe over there too, man. He definitely be having a lot of great conversations. Pseudo Sunday is always lit. I think tonight is Man Cave Monday, so there'll probably be some bones going on with a couple of deep discussions. But yeah, I wanted to say, in the debate, I think when it's certain shit that black people say amongst ourselves, right, all of the time. But I think the discussion, if it's gonna leave from amongst the privacy of like a black discussion, it needs to be sharpened up, right? It needs to be sharpened up, and I think we can. I think when we start, like when we talk like especially when we start talking about like white and black, as opposed to and it being connected to like skin tone. I think it's a tough argument. I think you can show black, and then I think in that instance, but I think just doing that in general in the middle of the debate, I think it would make it more difficult for you than what it would have to be. I think in a regular conversation we can keep it as, yeah, it's the white man's religion, this and that. But I think locking in the debate, damn, Emmett Till would have been 81 today. Man, happy birthday to Emmett Till. Definitely, definitely. But I think though, you know, we can have that discussion like that. But if I'm going to lock in the debate, or if I'm talking to somebody white about it, I want to prove my point, I'm gonna keep it Greco-Roman, and that way it kills any little things that they might try. Because now you got to prove white people come from Turkey or Phoenician Greek, yeah. And part of the idea of black and white in general is that you stripped of your original identity, right? That's like a part of like the game. So what part of what makes you black is it's like being stripped of your actual identity. It's the same thing that happens when Europeans decide to become white. So you'll see, you know, I think some of the nuances we see with like white people in general, we see like the latest was like the Italians becoming white and the Irish, stuff like that. But to avoid even having to go into that discussion, because all I want to deal with is the people who compiled the book. And regardless of whether I say they were white, I think even if I say Greco-Roman, at the end of the day, we know the Greco-Roman Empire was not friends of Africa. They weren't. I think any connection to them would show that you were not a friend. And I think that's the issue, you know, in general. And so, and like I said, when you know, you want to just avoid that. And when they get into bringing up the how do you explain the Ethiopian Bible and all of that? All you need to do is go in and look at Saint Prometheus and see where he came from and see what he was and see that he was there also sent back to replace Arian. So back by Constantine. So it just shows that Saint Prometheus never lost contact with Constantine, right? And he came from Constantinople. Then when you go into the Abba Garima, the Garima Gospels, you go into Abba Garima and all of that, you're going to see that those folks came from the Greco-Roman Empire. That's all you need to do. That's all you need to do. So the people, whether they was in Ethiopia when they did it, these people were Greco-Romans. They came into Ethiopia and wrote the Bible. They were Greco-Romans. Now, mind you, they don't come in until after the Council of Nicaea. Remember that. You get the Council of Nicaea in 325, which Saint Prometheus was there. Then you get the conversion of King Gezana in Ethiopia by 339, 341 AD. So it's a direct link between that meeting that Constantine held and Ethiopia becoming Christian. Don't get into the white and who's white and proving. I ain't doing all that with you. I'm not finna be proving who white is, who black is. And I say that because
I know if I'm on the opposite end of that debate and you raise the question of is it the white man's book, I'm gonna play so many games with you, you will never get to even prove and show the connection between Greece and Rome because I'm gonna be too busy making you prove that they were white. I know for a fact that's what I mean, I'm not even gonna argue whether it's Greco-Roman. I'd rather argue if it was white or not and make you show me white people existing before white people existed. And we can look at people and say, you know, that's a cracker. That's a white dude. But I think I think it's a lot easier when you can just identify the people. I can identify them. It's a group. That's why we know that culture, and the reason why that culture clashes with Africans and or Aboriginal people in general is because it's anti-Aboriginal culture. Why? Because it's Eurasian culture. I'm gonna go back over my debate that I had with KOT. I just want to go back over some of the slides and the things that I brought out because I think people, when we talk about what is African culture, right? And this was one of the things I got sent home, so I obviously didn't clearly explain this in my debate. So it's something I need to really clearly explain. And this was what I brought out in my debate that, yeah, there are a bunch of different cultures that exist in Africa. But the people in Africa, when you look at even though you have all of these different cultures, there are key points in each of these cultures that make them collectively unique from other people's cultures globally, right? So, meaning that they usually all have the same foundation, basically. So there might be different names and different ways that they practice this and that, but what you will see is that it's a form of divination. What you will see is that it's based off of ancestral worship. Like these are like uh there are key things that separates an African collectively from other people in general that are Asian, Eurasian, or European. And these are very distinct markers that pop up in their culture. So, yes, once again, when you go to Africa, there is not one single culture in Africa. So, there is no, this African culture. But when you look at the African culture or Africa and all of these different cultures in Africa as a whole, you will see that there are similarities unique to each of these cultures that separate them from any other people outside of the continent. That's what you will see. And what you see is that the Abrahamic religions attack that culture. Not only do they do it, but every day, what we deem as the standard of living, and breathing, and being a human being, it attacks that culture. Yeah, yeah. Also, I'm quite sure you already know this, but the Greeks always used them too as Herm. The Hermetic, everything that they was doing, Hermetic this and Hermetic that, a lot of that was at thought, right? A lot of that, well, most of it. That's why they stole all of those stories, like Herm's picture and just all of the different things that they was doing with Hermetic, this and that. All of that stuff was based on uh, um, Tahuti, basically, right? Because remember, and he gets deified as the one who brings in reading and writing and mathematics and all of that. So basically, and I don't know if people even know this, but he's not an Egyptian. He's not an Egyptian or a Cometian or whatnot. He comes in to Kemetic and brings that knowledge. He comes amongst those people. He was from further south though. And that's why it's really key. We gotta try to find some more information on Taneta, right? On Taneta or Punt, or what they call the land of the gods. We gotta find more information on that. Because that area in general, what you end up finding is that um those people, especially we talk about the book that Drusilla Dungy wrote, talking about the wonderful Ethiopian Empire and showing how it went all the way up uh, to as far as India, right? And even if you got it going all the way up to India and then coming back around, you'll see that those Indian gods, right, were kings and queens at the time from the Ethiopian region. That's what you find. The kings and queens of Ethiopia, of ancient Ethiopia, or that area, basically, Omo Valley civilization, those became the gods. Exactly. African Kush and India Kush. Exactly. 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 Because Kush ran all the way up to India. Those guys that become in India were Kushite kings and queens, or Cushitic kings and queens, right? So these are the people who bring this type of knowledge into the world. Remember, you get into the Natufians. The Natufians bring agriculture to the world, traveling up the Nile and out into the Levant. Same connection, same people. The Natufians brought in agriculture. So there is definitely, like I said, there is a concerted effort I don't know why I'm under attack by wasps, but okay. There is actually not. He's just chilling with me, right? There, like I said, there is a concerted effort to separate like the people who left Africa from African. We have to be careful with that argument. So though we argue against the whole yeah, they definitely do. because you know it kind of shows that these civilizations that they try to give these Asiatics credit for, they 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 don't deserve any credit for it, because these was actually Africans that was up there starting these civilizations, starting these languages, starting the writing, creating their communication, or the reason why these people even wear clothes. You know, there's a verse in Deuteronomy we always used to use on the Israelites when we was talking about you know, El Elyon giving his giving his inheritance to Yahweh, giving an inheritance to Yahweh. But it's a key element in that story that people always overlook, and it's when Yahweh said when Yahweh says, "I found you," talking to the Israelites, or Jacob says, "I found you waddling in your own blood in the desert." We're the God that found them waddling in the damn blood, naked in their own desert. That was us. We found them like that. We're the God that walked in the garden and found their dumbasses naked. Every time we come across them, they naked. We trying to figure out what the hell is wrong with y'all. So yeah, waddling in their own blood, not burying they dead, eating raw bloody meat. We're the God that found them doing that. So that verse, when it's "I found you," that was the "I" is us. We found them in the goddamn desert, rolling around in their own blood. It was so bad. That's what I be saying. They be playing this game. The Comedics would never have even eaten with these people. You was looking at these goat herders like, yo, they ain't even bad, yo. They was just dirty. People at that time, they was looking like, yo, people don't even live like that. How they be trying to look at us all primitive and shit. That's how the fuck we looked at them. We like, yo, you know you're supposed to cook that before you eat it? These motherfuckers just jumping on the back of a goddamn bear and shit. Just trying to eat. Yo, you gotta cook the food, man, before you go to eat. We have to come through like, hey man, you should bury your dead. You know? You should put them underground. Not just leave them up there and throw some sticks on them, nigga. Fuck is y'all doing? I be saying, these people be writing themselves in history, and we be talking about the history like, yeah, these Asiatics did all of this great one. No, the fuck they didn't. How the hell was they doing all of this great building when they was naked, eating, but they didn't even know how to cook food? These niggas ain't had no agriculture. None of that. I don't care what the evidence says. I don't care how often they try to lie and say they created the writing and all it. No, the fuck they didn't. No, they didn't. These people did not create no goddamn writing systems or no languages. Zero. We see consistency. When you look at the Hittite Empire, when you look at the Hittites, what happened? The Hittites came in and assumed the language of the Hattis. They took the language of the Hatti people. They took the culture of the Hatti people. The Hittites had no fucking culture. Zero. They had no culture. They had no language. These people don't know how to communicate until they come in contact with us. I'll be saying, modern day science has a lot of issues with how they tell they fucking lies. I don't care how you want to string the languages and how well you are in linguistics. The minute you go and take language and writing outside of Africa, I know you fucking lying. And maybe you can do that, but if you take it outside of an African, now I know for sure you're a liar. Now I know you on that bullshit. You on that bullshit. Exactly. Shout out to Al Capone in the mix. Power to the dark side, God. Yeah. Appropriation. These people have none of that. And they get to sit up today and pretend like, yeah, we Sumerian text, that ain't theirs. There's no Sumerian text. That's some African shit. Yeah, that's hey look, shout out to Black Son on that. We ain't supposed to be eating meat, period. So they probably was looking at them crazy on that. Like, damn, y'all niggas are still eating meat. Then you eat meat, you ain't even cooking it. At least put fire on that motherfucker. The motherfuckers are true savages. They was true savages. They was just jumping on the back of the goddamn deer. Oh yeah. Yeah. And this is why, and the point that you just made with that too, Ayana, that's exactly why I say Aboriginal culture. Aboriginal culture. Right? Because I think in general, if we leave outside of you can see the same play happen here in this land, in the Americas. You can see the same thing happen in some parts of Asia, Southern Asia. All of these things happen. All of these things happen. And they, that's why I say and the reason why I say it's Aboriginal culture, because globally you can see consistency. Damn. Well, the Somalians, man, god damn. So, oh shit. Is it if you don't mind, Yana, what are you exactly? If you don't mind me asking. You don't have to share if you don't want to. Yeah, that's a definite though. Hold on, y'all. Just wait one second. Yeah, it's a definite. I said, man, we definitely got to do some stuff. Yeah, I know Ethiopians was going at it with them for a minute, especially in Dago. And then in Retrans would be going at it with the Ethiopians. That was wild. There used to be some wild, wild fights and riots. So just to see, some of them I was in, a lot of them I was in. That's a definite. But we got things I think we need to clean up, historical wise. I'm gonna go back through some more of the slides and stuff that I had kind of brought out, just reintroduce them again. Do some more clarification on some of them. I'm definitely. I got a show actually to do. I might try to get it back. I might try to get it in tonight. If not, I'll do it. Oh, you from the Horn? Okay. Then. Shout out to you. Definitely, and definitely appreciate you coming through. Always. You might know Mr. Uganda. Mr. Uganda be through this way too. I usually swing over his way. Also, hopefully he probably be going live again. Sometimes I be over there with African Millennial too. I might go check her out. I think she might be live, but we're probably going to be. She had a very good discussion yesterday. But yeah, I got a few things though. I got a presentation prepared and ready. I got a few of them prepared and ready to go. I just gotta do it, get the time and shit. But I wanted to go in today, kind of just get on that topic that I heard. Chris basically was debating and stuff like that. Kind of touch bases on that, give y'all some of the nuances to the argument in general. But like I said, I think when we're having this discussion, we need to keep it specific. Christianity is Greco-Roman. The Bible is Greco-Roman. The culture in the Bible is Eurasian. All is anti-Aboriginal culture globally. Remember, the Tower of Babel is about restoring Aboriginal culture globally. Getting back to the culture of your ancestors, realigning yourself back with your ancestors, with nature, getting back into that broken cycle, right? That's what the restoration of Babel is. Because at the end of the day, we all have an understanding of we are more than our flesh, and outside of our flesh, we are one, right? We are one. And so even though our oneness manifests itself in many different ways and throughout many different types of people on this plane, I think at the end of the day, when you can see with your spiritual eye, you know that we are all one, right? We are all one. So we getting back to one language, all of that, definitely. This is about rebuilding like more of a colony type of a structure. You know what I mean? Examining, you can see how ants move and work, and you can see like it's nothing that they can't build together. And it's because of the sacrifice that they're willing to make for each other. You know what I'm saying? And how hard ants are willing to work together. So it's a lot of things that we gonna learn, especially from nature in general, as we get back to nature. Like I said, though, we got to give a special praise to the most beautiful goddess of science, technology, engineering, and mathematics, Stemia, whose image is the most beautiful, Whoopi Goldberg. Remember, if you are listening to this, together we are Babel. Let's build. Some power to the dark side, definitely. And we're going to get up out of here with this.
Story goes, I only get so much more info. Message from my dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I don't wanna know how the story goes, I only get so much more info. Message through a dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I think it's a connection to the Congo, or maybe it's a head being Shango. Back when the Bulls had Rondo, we was rocking red and white. Come outside, I'll be outside on my vibe, but it's all on you. Let the spirit teach us. Don't sleep on my reshine. I see why Aifa is your name. It is your name. I don't wanna know how the story goes. I only get so much more info. Message from my dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. I don't wanna know how the story goes. I only get so much more info. Message through a dude through my oracle, and it's all on cue. It's a method to the message, just the process. I ain't stressing and I know we making progress. It's a lesson shadow boxing in the darkness, and it's all on you. Come outside, 'cause I'll be outside on on my mind, but it's all on you. Let the spirit teach us. I sneak on my restart. I see why Ifa is your name. I is your name.
Hey, shout out to Kansu, man. Shout out to Kansu. It wasn't that, Kansu. It wasn't that, man. Power to the dark side, Kofi Hill. Yeah, it wasn't that, man. It wasn't that. You definitely got brought up, but it wasn't that. They put some respect on it, man. They put some respect on it. Shout out to Kansu, man. Power to the dark side. Definitely. So yeah, we gonna play one more, man, and then we getting up out of here, y'all. Y'all already know what time it is. Peace, peace.
Just know that everything behind me soon to pass away. Ballin' on our own island, no castaway. I was trying to learn the craft, I can't masquerade. Every time we make magic, yeah, gotta have the cake. They say the flowers in May, scream from the showers in April. Burning sage by the pound, all of our crystals is labeled. Try to line your re with meditation, you able, and you might get a read. Tarot cards on the table, and she better have an altar in her living room. Barely ever lighting candles cause she in the mood. Not to mention love spells she was sending through. Temptation too old soon if you feeling blue. It feels strange to find a guide on the voyage. No, you ain't the same, I can feel it in your aura. Came on point like the horns of a Taurus. Say you won't change, better take that thing to oil. Have to think the constellations for the day they made you. Shit, ever since a minor, I've been playing major. Call me Private Ryan, I was trying to save you. See the stars is all the line and they designing greatness. So I be racing when we only chasing soul ties. You finna be the centerpiece of my soul tribe. No twin flame soulmates from an old life. So I'm thinking Maorisha and you know why.
That girl mine, that girl mine. You don't wanna feel a black girl, right? You don't wanna make a black girl mine, but they always want with the black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I say how it happened, this black girl. Magic. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I say how it happened, this black girl. Magic. And she gotta have an altar in the living room. Really never lighting candles cause she ain't a fool. Not to mention love spell she was sending through. Temptation to her soon if you feeling blue.
They say the flowers in May, scream from the showers in April. Burning sage by the pound, all of her crystals is labeled. Try to line your re with meditation, you able, and you might get a read. Tarot cards on the table.
That girl mine, that girl mine. You don't wanna feel a black girl, right? You don't wanna make a black girl mine, but they always want with the black girl. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I say how it happened, this black girl. Magic. I ain't talking about no rabbit in a hat trick. I say how it happened, this black